Oh, here, start streaming. There we go.
Go back and put the YouTube.
Yeah, now it's live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
Is it live about here?
I should believe so. Let's see. Sorry, guys, we're just having some technical issues. Please bear with us.
If you can hear us, just
Okay. Got it.
on?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if mine is on though.
So just double check yours.
Okay, so if everyone can hear, now we're live. Okay, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel. It's your girl, Sassydee.naturals. And we have with us here
Vybz, my name is Kay, and thanks again for tuning in, guys.
Okay, so we're going to start in by just saying a few prayers. Okay?
Leah?
Sure. Father God, we just want to say thank you for today. We thank you for the topics. We thank you for the relationship talks, Baba, as we speak upon everything going on in relationships today. Anyone having issues in their relationship, let it be fixed today. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Okay.
So let's get into it. So we're doing relationship talk today. And a lot of us might have different things going on in our relationship, good or bad. But at the end of the day, we all have to talk about it,
That's right?
So we have a few topics to touch base on. So Doris is going to go through some of the topics.
Okay.
Okay? So
these are really intense topics, guys. So
yeah, and please comment. We're going to read some of your comments, and then we're also going to talk about it, all right? So feel free to comment down below so we can hear what you're saying.
Yes, and if you have any questions, feel free to write the questions down below. We are seeing your comments, and we will sure to reply to all of them, okay? So the first question is, let's see the questions one more time.
Into YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first question is it rape when your partner sleeps with you without permission? Okay, so we're gonna, once we read the questions, we're gonna start by answering the questions first on our own, just to get our own views in, right? And then we're gonna get you guys' view on it by leaving phone numbers, or if you want to leave it down below in the comment section below, that's fine too. It's completely up to you. But we're also leaving our phone numbers, so we're gonna start first. So I'm just gonna repeat the question. Is it rape when your partner sleeps with you without permission? So, Kay, would you like to go first?
Sure. Okay, so for this thing, I did my own research and all of that. So I have a little note to put down, right?
Of course.
So in this case, when you talk about in a relationship and a rape, keep in mind, what is rape for you? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I wrote here is that rape is not about sex.
Yeah.
Right? So you cannot be in a relationship and consider rape. Consider it rape when it comes on to your partner, right?
Okay.
So it can be rape when we're thinking about, because rape is like you want to demand power over your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And in a marriage, when that happened, when you've been so aggressive and abusive, yes, I would definitely consider it rape.
Okay.
Because in a marriage, it is two given consent.
Yes.
And without that consent, and it all depends too, because some people, it all depends on how it come across.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're in a relationship and every minute the man is coming, okay, my love, right? We want to have sex. You might say, no, you're not in the mood, right? But then how does a man go about finishing it off? Does he bring you in the mood?
Yes.
Right? Rather than, aggressive and trying to be very abusive, and you're like, no, I don't want it, but yet still he's forcing yourself onto her, you, right?
Yes.
So yes, I would say it's rape.
Yes. And just going off yes, in my perspective, I do consider it to be rape, because it's a union between two people, correct?
Yes.
So if you are having sex right? Or making love as a partner, you need two people's consent. You can't just force upon something somebody doesn't want. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
In order for that to happen, you have to get the other partner's permission. In a relationship is supposed to be sweet. It's supposed to be something that's supposed to bring joy and happiness. You're not supposed to be in a relationship and feel like, oh my goodness, I am so tired of this relationship and so on and so forth. So if he's coming at night and he just slips one right into you without permission, yes, I do consider that as rape. You can't just come in at night
But
and
the
just
thing is,
slip it right into you.
no, but the thing is, there are men. To me, it all depends, because if you're in your marriage, right, and you're sleeping, and your man wants, something, because
you have to be cautious of what's going on. If when you're sleeping, you're uncautious,
but
right?
if something is going on there, you must know.
No. It must be like he has to wake you up saying, honey, and then start the love making from there. He can't just like go. No, to me that is rape. Whether you're married or not, you need consent. Yes, love has to be. When love is involved, it's sweeter. But you can't just force upon your stuff on people because you're legally married to them. Just because you're legally married to them, it doesn't mean that you own them. That's one thing a lot of people have to understand. Being married to somebody doesn't mean you own them, that you can force yourself upon them. No, it just simply means that you need to give their consent. Two people has to be involved, okay, when this is going on. It can't just be a one-person thing. It has to be a two-people way, okay?
Right.
So now that we're both done our own two stuff about
But
it.
the thing is, it says marital rape is considered a form of domestic violence.
Okay, hear
Right?
that?
It's considered a form of domestic violence. And in some countries, you can face jail time.
Yeah, like Canada.
Yes, you can face jail time for it. But again, it depends on the kind of relationship one have with their partner. It depends. Because to me, sometimes your man can just come to you, you don't even in the mood for nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then the way the forceful part would be, your question would be, is it violent? Right?
During the process.
Right.
Yeah.
Or is it, to what extent you said no, but at the end of the day, when your husband starts, right, you're into it.
Yes. Well, it's like that to me is manipulated. Why would you need to manipulate?
No, but that's not manipulated.
Yes,
because okay, but that's the thing. Because at one point, right, not two parties going to want sex at the same time.
Yes, definitely.
Right. So one have to encourage, arouse the other in order for that to happen.
Of course.
So that's where the consent is given, because 70 to 93% of our body language is nonverbal.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have to say anything for me to know, like, okay, yes, he needs something, right?
Yes.
And then, without you saying nothing, I know you need something, I feel for it now, and,
because he's touching some places,
Exactly.
His senses up. That is what it's supposed to be like. Not you forcing yourself on someone because you need it now, and that person has to give into it. It doesn't work that way, right?
But a lot of people would also use 1 Corinthians 7, right? If you guys can look it up, 1 Corinthians 7, I don't know it word for word. Probably we can search it, right? If we look up 1 Corinthians 7 and see what 1 Corinthians, a lot of men will use that over ladies' head.
Yes.
Say, wife, submit to your husband.
Yes.
You should submit. But in what level? Because if you're using that scripture to back you, right?
Yes.
You have to make sure you're standing in the representative of Christ.
Exactly.
Right? And would Christ forcefully be
Do that to you?
Exactly.
Yes.
Right? So when you're using scripture like that, make sure you're playing the part of Christ.
So you guys have to understand what rape is and what love is.
Exactly.
Because sometimes we are manipulated to think a certain way what love really is, when in reality it's an abusive relationship. So you need to understand, when you're in that situation, you need to know, is this rape or is this love? If it's rape, you need to find a way out. If it's love, then girl, congratulations. So with no further ado, we're going to start taking some questions. We're going to leave our phone numbers, okay, for those that want to call, either on WhatsApp or if you want to call either on regular call if you're in Canada or if you're international. Okay, so the phone number is 647 410
Let me type it in.
6683. So I'm going to put the phone number right on the chat so you guys can see where to call, okay?
Repeat it again for me, Sassydee.
Yes, so 647 410 6683, okay? I'm trying to type it on here on my page. I'm not able to.
Let's see.
So I'm not sure how to do that.
So exit from here.
Okay, so I
Go
have
on
to
your
exit.
comment
Yes.
section.
So I'm going to leave the number right on the comment section. Let me see. So you guys can call. Somebody actually called and we missed the call. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write the number. Okay, so 647 410. Bear with us, guys. 683. So I'm going to leave the number. Turn it down. Okay, so if you're calling international, I'm also leaving the number there too. So you
put
see.
a 1 in front of it too. A 1. If you're calling international.
So 011.
So 1647.
Yeah.
The area code.
6683. Okay, so the phone numbers are there now. So we actually have a caller that we missed the phone call. We're gonna give the caller a call back. Okay, so I'm gonna place it on speaker just to get the other perspective, what the caller thinks. Hello, caller. Hi, we actually received a call from you in regards to the topic that we're talking about.
And let's just repeat the topic. Is it rape when your partner has intercourse with you without permission?
I can't hear you. Please, can you repeat?
Okay.
Is it rape when your partner has intercourse with you without permission?
If my partner, I can't hear
Yes,
you.
okay.
Sorry.
So is it rape if your partner has sex with you without permission?
Very well. I think so.
Okay.
And why is that?
I can't hear you. I don't know if the phone is on speaker.
Yes, it's on speaker because we want our callers to hear everything that you're saying. Can you hear now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so
Can you?
yes, I'm just gonna repeat the question one more time, just in case you didn't hear the question. So we said, is it rape if your partner sleeps with you without your permission?
Oh, yes. Yeah. You can sleep with me without my permission.
Okay.
I do understand. Is it rape if my partner sleep with me without my permission?
Yes.
Yes, very well. She can, because she can have it without my permission on my own view. Because if she need me, she can have. She don't need permission from me if I'm his husband.
Okay, so what our caller is saying is that his partner can have sex from him without his permission because they're married. So that's his view on this.
Yeah, and if I'm not married too, she can have sex with me without my permission too.
Oh, so if you're not married and versus if you are married, either way, once you're in a relationship, you're able to have sex without consent.
Okay, caller, thank you so much. We're going to receive another call.
Do you have a next call coming?
Yes.
Okay. Is the person on the line?
Can I have a question, mine?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Am I free?
Yeah, go ahead. We're
Can you
listening.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My question was like this.
Sorry, can you turn down your background? Your background is a little loud.
Okay, sorry, because my phone is on Bluetooth.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, my question was like this. is it good that if your partner, you are in a relationship, you are in a marriage home, and your partner is still calling his fiancé?
You're in a married home and your partner is still.
Marriage home, you are married. Your partner is still calling his ex-boyfriend.
Okay. So I will let Kate take it from here first.
So what I would say, what is the conversation between you and your partner? Did you guys come to an
ex.
Oh,
So
no, yeah. What's the conversation between him and his partner,
Okay.
right? Have they have a conversation in regards to, okay, babes, I don't want this from you, and set the foundation. This is what I expect. This is what I don't expect.
Yes.
And if that's the case, and then she's going outside of that, then definitely that's a problem.
Okay, caller, did you hear that? And I'm also going to add my own in as well. So, like I mentioned before, a relationship is about two people. When two people come into an agreement, right? So everything you do, you make the decision together. Though you are the head and your decision is a bit above, but you guys have to come together to make the decision at the end of the day. If you've made an agreement with your partner to say, I'm not comfortable with you calling your ex girlfriend, and she continues to do so, then there's a problem. Maybe there's something that maybe there's still some feelings left that she's still going back to, and that is not completely worn out yet, and she's still looking for something without really telling you that she's still in love with her ex partner. So that just might be it. You just maybe need to find out, are you still in love with your ex? Or is there something else I should know?
You need to set a list.
Oh, yes. Okay, partner, caller, thank you so much. We have another caller.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry. Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, caller. What's your view on this?
Can you hear me clearly?
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
One more thing, guys. If you're able to hear the caller clearly, can you please indicate on the chat below so we're able to know that you can hear them, please?
Okay, so I'm hearing you clearly.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so my view on the topic, I do not consider a woman or a man raping each other in a relationship. Because when you come together, you are one. You know, and as the Bible stated that you become one. You know, and the only time you should withhold yourself from your man or your husband is if you're on fasting. That's what the Bible says. But in a relationship, you have your man and the man come home. Whether he's home or he comes home from wherever it was, he's thinking about you while he was out there. And by thinking of you when he came home, he just wants to get you.
Yeah.
Because he already built up in his mind that he's coming home to his wife or to his woman, and he wants her. So how he's gonna come home now? I mean, before you're married, your mind's supposed to be on your man, and your mind's supposed to be on you. And as a woman, you should be thinking that, oh, my husband is coming home. How can I assist him? What can I do to show him that I love him and that I care? And if he come home with that desperation, wanting you, his wife, and you turn him away, and if he should take in his mind now that you don't want to give yourself to him, and you see woman out there freely, would you want him to go and be with another man? Rather than give yourself to him as your husband.
But caller, so sorry, we didn't get your name.
Say Charm.
Okay, Charm. So we were more asking if he forcefully wants to have sex with you, would you consider that to be rape now?
But the forcefully would come in if you are resisting him. What we have to understand as women is that when a man have the desire to have sex, they have a lot of pain. You know, we women, we don't feel that kind of pain, but a man feel a lot of pain. And in feeling that pain, and you keep resisting him, he's gonna have the urge to wanna force himself on you. Normally, it's based on the other individual who is putting up an resistance to prevent the other person from doing so. So it might get aggressive.
Okay. All right, caller.
And so how the other individual handle it, that will cause the other person to get enraged or something like that. So we have to think about those things.
Okay, thank you so much, caller. We're gonna take another person. We're trying not to pass 3 minutes on each individual, on each topic.
Okay.
Okay, thank you
Well,
so
thank you for
much.
hearing me.
Thank you, caller.
I hope everyone is able to hear what the caller is saying.
Hello, caller. Oh, okay. Then I'll call you
got
back
this.
again.
Yes. So some of the comments while she's waiting on the call said, "It's guys, it's very painful for men." So yes, it's very painful.
Okay, let me see some of the comments.
Okay, one comment here. Girl, that thing belongs to the man. You should make way for him when he come.
Hi.
Oh, it got disconnected?
Oh, okay. Let's receive the other call. Okay, continue with the question before we go back to the other caller.
What, the second question or?
No. I think one more person wanted to call. Okay, let me just call back because they were calling. I hope you guys can hear us through the speaker. If you can, please let us know. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, you are very welcome. Our pleasure.
All right. So I do have some feedback on the topic.
Okay.
And I'm basing this off of Ephesians chapter 5.
Verse 25.
Okay.
Where the first line, the first verse talks about being imitators of God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we go down to the part where we start talking about Christ and the church.
Right.
And how that relates to the husband and the wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From what I know about Christ, he's never once forced me.
Yes.
Amen,
Exactly.
Use him, but what he did was he put things in place to coax me or to make me want to desire.
Yes.
Right? And then we talk about, okay, so Paul is telling and commending the men to love his wife, but apparently this isn't easy because we are complex beings as women.
Right.
So it takes time for men to understand us, and likewise men. But if you take the time to fill our emotional bank, you take the time to give us what we need, there would be no concern about forcing.
Yes.
You know, it's good for men to be respectful because if we're on our period, we don't want, and we're not feeling it, just be respectful. And because men can control themselves. Essentially, they can. But I think if you're really giving a woman what she wants and she's feeling safe with you, she don't mind if you want to sneak in a little something at night when she's sleeping. At least let her know. She should know that touch. She should know those signals. Right? You're not just gonna go, bam, 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 here it is, I'm awake. No, a man who respects and loves his woman will take his time to communicate, and that's just my POV based on Ephesians 5.
Okay.
Oh yes, I agree with you totally, sis. I agree with you.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much. We're gonna receive another caller now. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Okay. Somebody else actually called. We're just gonna give them a call back. Okay. I'm honestly very happy that you guys have decided to put in your own perspective or your own point of view, what you think about this topic, because a lot of women are going through this and they don't know what to do. So we're here to help those that are going through this situation, to let them know, hey, there is help. You don't have to hide, and you you need to understand what's right from what's wrong. You know, do not be blinded by what you call love when it's not really love. You know, if men choose to really love us the way Christ loved the church, they wouldn't have to force anything. Do you understand? They wouldn't have to force anything. It would just come naturally.
Definitely.
Okay?
Can you put the number in? They want to know what number to call. One more time.
Oh, yes. So 647.
So 647.
Yep. 410.
410.
66.
66.
83.
83.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, guys.
Okay, if you call and you didn't get your turn, please don't be upset. Just wait for your turn again. Okay. Hello, caller. Your background is very noisy. Can you? Okay, I couldn't hear the last caller. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's one more person that had called, but we're just gonna wait for people to call back. Okay. So my question is, are you truly happy when your man touches you? That's another thing. Are you giving it to your man regularly? Because if you're not, then he's going to feel like he needs to force himself on you, which isn't fair on anybody.
Right.
If you're constantly denying him,
that's
then
a problem.
Like the other caller said just now, some women are constantly denying their partners. So if you're in that position and you're constantly denying your partner, then he's going to feel like, oh, I'm going to take it forcefully. If you took your time and you guys showed each other love, and there wouldn't have to be any forceful. Sometimes you're just not in the mood.
Yeah.
But if he's able to put you in the mood, good and fine. There are some days you're not in the mood, and some days you're in the mood.
Exactly.
So you guys have to come into an agreement to come into that conclusion. Okay, I'm in the mood today, I'm not in the mood. Because when you're married, sometimes you're just not in the mood. There are some days you're like, oh, honey, give it to me, give it to me.
Exactly.
And then sometimes you're just like, oh, please, no.
Yes.
Okay, we have another caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. So, well, I'm still trying to follow up with the YouTube, but my trick was not the best. It's just, can you just kind of
Repeat the question?
Yes. What
Okay.
we talked about today.
Okay, so we have a lot of topics. So one of the topic was, is it rape if your partner sleeps with you?
Is it rape if your partners have intercourse with you without permission?
Yes.
Without permission?
Yes.
Very touchy subject.
Oh, yes.
Because once a woman says no, it's rape.
Okay.
But at the same time, a wife should submit to her husband. We're talking about husband, not talking to girlfriend. Talking about husband.
Yes.
And wife. There shouldn't be times when a man wants to make love to his wife and she says no. And everyone is a Christian here, so we can go back to the Bible. The Bible says for a man to love his wife as God loves the church, and for women to submit.
That's right.
The body and the spirit. So the question should be, why is the woman saying no, firstly? And if the woman says no, or not too often, then is that really a fruitful relationship, right? Yeah, so well, hey everyone. I have to jump in a little bit, of course.
Okay, thank you so much, caller.
Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I actually love this topic, actually. This is a topic that I've always wanted to talk. Last time I got a message from you guys and you guys wanted to talk about it.
Sorry, can you speak louder, caller? I don't think everyone is able to hear you.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Right. So the question was, is it rape if a woman says no and the man proceeds anyways, right?
It could be both. It could be both. So is it rape when your partner has intercourse with you without permission?
Right. So to me, I wouldn't want to call it. How would I say this now? Okay, it is a sensitive topic, like the other call.
What you just said.
Can I say one thing? One
Sure.
thing before, because this topic is very interesting.
Okay.
So I remember I had a lady, back in the day, and this is what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to make a schedule to when we can do it.
Oh,
No.
that's off topic.
That's definitely a no.
That's off.
Okay, this goes back to what I was saying. That
There's
sometimes
some people saying there's no connection. Please let me know if you're able to see now.
Are you guys able to hear us and see us now? Please let us know in the comment section. We were just having network technical difficulties.
yes, we can see you guys and we can hear you guys.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so
That's off topic now.
Yes.
Because setting a schedule is like, what kind of relationship is that? What kind of sex life is that in general? Like, what is this? Going to school? No.
It's not just the scheduling that trouble. I think that word that really is problematic to me. Permission. Like,
No, but the thing is, either way, it has to be permission. Whatever you're doing, because when you're asking a woman to marry you, she has the choice to say yes. So
That's
she's
right.
giving you the permission to be in a conjugal relationship with her.
Yeah.
So she give you the permission to do that. So when it comes on to sex, there have to be permission, whether verbal.
what I'm saying now is that she said yes to marry you, correct?
Yes.
You have to ask her to marry you when she said yes.
Right.
Right, so you should know what you're getting yourself into. Right?
No, the reason why, the reason why I use that is just to use the word consent. You have to give permission. The person has to say yes, even if they say it verbally or non-verbally. It has to be an agreement.
Well, to me, I would say, it might sound funny. I would say, from we signed that paper that me and you get married.
All right, caller. We just want to say thank you for your time. We're gonna answer another call now. Thank you so much. All right.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, so we actually had somebody else call in, but we're going to move into a next topic. But we just want to receive one more caller before we move on. We have a lot of hot topics today, okay? So one more caller. Sorry about that, you guys. We had a network issue going on, so please bear with us. I think it's working perfectly now. Okay, this is one last caller before we move into the next topic. It's very interesting.
I know. It seems like this caller said scheduling for intercourse.
Wow.
Come on.
I've never heard that. You hear new things every day.
Yeah.
Okay, guess this caller. All right.
Then there's a comment saying that you gave him permission the moment you say I do. Okay, yes, you give permission. Okay, you guys are looking at it from a different perspective from where we're looking at it. Because Jesus says, knock.
And it shall be given.
He said, knock it out. He never said, just come in.
Open it.
Right? It said, knock on the door.
Which means when you're knocking, you're asking permission. Can I come in? So if you're not knocking and you just want it open, it doesn't work that way. Now you're breaking into an entry, right?
Exactly.
So when you don't knock before you open, you
Break
just
an
open
entry.
dead, and you can be charged for that by law. Yes.
Remember, even though we belong to you, okay,
Yes.
and for all the married couple, even though we belong to each other, right? We have to be respectful and not be selfish, right? Because if you need something, you can't just come bang bang. You want,
You're
right?
not in a slavery. She's not a slave or enslaved to you. You know.
Right. I can understand if you get up and you might want something and the lady might feel something like, oh my gosh, hurry up. Like, you know?
And you know when it's like that, it's not enjoyable.
No, but enjoy for them.
But no, then when won't even enjoy it, because what would you be enjoying when the lady's just like, oh, hurry up?
What? I guess we need a guy to come and tell us what they're enjoying, right?
Yeah, like to me, it's like, what are you really enjoying there when the person just looks at you like, again, oh my gosh.
Yes.
But no, that's right. It's very important. Love making is very important. You know the right senses and right places to touch. You can't just think, oh, you're waking up and you're early in the morning, it's like early morning sex, and you just bang, 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 and that's it. It doesn't work that way.
One of the
Comment?
the comment says, "Does your car need permission to be driven?"
Yes.
Or what?
Yes.
Because they need a key. You need a key, right? Okay, sure. And then you have to turn it on.
Yes.
So you have to turn on the ladies. You know what I'm saying? This is something.
Interested.
Yes,
Okay.
guys.
I think we should. Okay, we have one more caller. 1 second, you guys. Hello, caller. Can you turn down your background, please? Turn your background down.
Hello.
Hello? It's very loud in your background, caller. Turn down your background.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, we're hearing you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Is it loud?
It's
Mute your background because there's gonna be an echo. So just mute it.
okay.
Yeah, that's much better.
Hello? Okay. Sorry, caller. I had to end the call. I wasn't hearing what you were saying, but we're gonna move from this topic and move on to a different topic, okay? So, because I want to go through, we want to be able to go through all the topics today, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the next topic?
So the next topic is.
Okay, sorry, bear with me. She's calling back again.
Okay.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Your background is still very loud.
Okay.
Please use English. I can't hear you.
Hello.
Yes, much better.
Okay. In this program, are you guys gonna use English all through
English, please. Yes.
Benin and Jamaica?
English.
Why?
Okay. There's. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Okay, so the topic was, is it rape if your partner decides to sleep with you without your permission? What's your take on that?
Oh, okay. First of all, I'm gonna say it's not good.
Okay? And why is that?
Because before somebody takes something from you, he has to ask you.
Okay?
Even though I'm the one that give you the thing, like I give you something before, and now I still want to use that thing. I must ask you, please, can I have that thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
I want to use it.
Yes.
So, you remember, I remember one time I bought the purse from my place of work.
Okay?
I gave it to my daughter. And one day I was going to a party, and that type purse that I gave to my daughter is matches with what I'm wearing. I have to go beg her. Even though I was what I bought it for her, I have to go to her and say, please, can I borrow this purse from you today? So she said, okay, mommy. She gave it to me. I couldn't just walk straight to her wardrobe and grab it because I bought it for her, right?
Yeah.
The man cannot just walk into the woman because he paid her price
Mm-hmm.
You guys have to communicate.
Yes,
You
very
cannot just
important.
go and jump on her all the time. It's like a race like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know? So that is what I can explain in that area. And anyway, you guys said you want to use English or true. I wanted to speak Benin because I'm from Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria.
Okay. We appreciate that, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution. There's so much more topics, so you're free to call back again. We're going to move into a different topic, but thank you so much. We are grateful to have you, caller. Thank you.
I would appreciate if you guys give me a chance to speak Benin.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. What I want to explain to my Benin people is what I just explained in English before. If you are doing, if we have a channel where a market came to be where of not looking at or sign every time nobody while we are well on the yellow working in. Simply no one the one bound for one day where or market came the only okay on more give the only way in America. Or what are we air or we always the woman. We don't say I am where you know. Every or whenever Sonia Sonny or bell or kicking on not you put you out. They're Mario or Hecky. Okay, agreement. Alright, oh my back. Now with Nana. Okay, yeah, Kawe or DSC. Yeah, wait, backward is just the right corner, you know. So on the Yantana, I can now be forced to now go over Mama Win or a sweat of that. So, you know, I always say.
Okay, thank you so much, caller.
So the caller is from Nigeria. She's speaking both language, so English and Bini.
Yes.
Right?
So basically, she was just repeating the same thing again in Bini language. Okay, so for those that are watching from Nigeria that understands in Bini, so she has a really good point there, you know? Okay. So we're gonna move on to the other question.
They're saying that they need more time to answer the question.
Oh, okay.
So probably what we can do too is normally if we can like go on we call it Instagram, and they can call in
from Instagram. Yeah, they can also do that too. Yeah.
Right, but we have to go live on Instagram.
If we go live on Instagram, then we wouldn't be able to use the phone.
Yes, but we're not. So you just have to call in again if you want to talk more off the topic, okay? But we're gonna give you a time frame, at least 2 minutes.
Yes, so everyone can have their turn.
Exactly.
Because if you're calling more than 2 minutes and some people are calling, they won't be able to get their turn as well.
Right.
But if it's something that you really need help with and you're struggling in that area, then yes, we're more than happy to spend more time discussing that topic, okay? So we're moving on to the next topic, or do you still have more comments based on this one?
Yes, so we need more time.
Oh, one person.
Somebody's calling?
Yeah. Hello, caller. Wait, turn your background down, please. Can you mute the background?
Okay.
Okay. Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
I heard the question. I don't know if I can contribute to the question.
Oh, definitely.
The first time I called.
Oh, okay.
If your wife or your partner can ask you.
No, So the question was, is it right?
Is it what's this?
Sorry, let me go back to the same question again.
Is it rape when your partner have intercourse with you without permission?
On my opinion, I would say yes, because she's my wife, she's my partner.
Can't hear. They can't hear him.
Sorry, can you speak louder? They're not able to hear what you're saying.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
I said, in the first place, I would say yes, 100% yes.
Okay.
Because when you are hungry of something, that is why the marriage, when you are getting married, they say
Okay.
for better for worse.
Yes.
Because sometimes you may not need it, but your partner will need it.
Right.
You have to satisfy her or him. Because if you do not do so, she can change her mind. Because you may not need it at the same time. Never in the life that you may need it at the same time. I hope you are getting my English.
Yes.
Because why? It's not a something that we cook it and we eat it together. It's something that you will say, I would like to have it. Depends on the program that you watch. Maybe your wife can be in the house, maybe you went to the work. When you come back from work, your wife can need you.
Yeah, it's true.
You cannot say, let me get ready. Because it's something that you do not get ready for. You take it when it comes. You have to be ready. That is what you sign in the court. That is what you sign.
Okay, so another question that I have for you now. Even though you sign papers in the court, does that necessarily mean that after you get the documents from the court that you not own the lady or you feel like you own the lady?
No, you don't feel like you own a lady because a woman is not a slave.
Okay.
You have the same rights. You have the same rights like the woman because you don't have. Is not your slave.
Yes, that's right.
I am a married man. I'm calling you from Italy. For this, I cook for my wife. I make everything for my wife. I sweep for my wife.
You guys hear that? Okay.
You understand? Because she's not my slave. But when people see that, they say, why are you doing this for your wife? You understand? But she's not my slave. When she's tired, she has to rest. When I'm tired,
Okay.
I have to rest.
Okay.
I can do whatever that I can do. I can cook for her. She can cook for me.
Okay.
You understand? That is relationship. But we African people, because we are Africa, we African people, we misunderstand it. We think the job of the man is to just own the house and pay the house rent. No, you have to make it work. You don't need to know only your bed. You have to know all your whole house. Like now, I know all my whole house. I know whatever that is going on in my house. It's not like I just hold the remote. My lifetime is the remote control of the television. No.
Okay.
That's where we miss it. Because we have to be for one another. You understand me?
That's right.
I get married. If maybe I am getting married because my wife should wash my clothes, I would have taken a dry cleaner.
That's right.
I'm getting married.
Oh, caller, you are.
My wife to cook for me, I would have taken a cooker.
Okay.
You understand? For this, if maybe I need a house, just a house, my wife must be working. She's not a housewife. If she have any other work outside, it's not my problem. But she must be working. You understand?
That's
that is
right.
how to make it. Oh, that is my view. But I can be wrong. But that is my view.
Okay, thank you so much, caller. We're trying not to pass so much time, but this view of yours was absolutely interesting. Okay, thank you so much. We're going to go on to another. Thank you. Okay, that was a really interesting.
Sorry. Some
caller.
technical issues. Okay, guys. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Someone else is calling again.
Yeah, it seems like they don't want to go on the next topic.
It seems like you guys want to go to the next topic.
But that's
Hello,
okay.
caller.
We're here.
Hello. Hello, caller. What's your view on this? Hi, caller.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, it is before you go to the next topic, I want to speak on the one that you people have been deliberating on, that a man should take a permission
Okay.
before entering a woman.
Okay.
You think? Because of this modern day that we are now, you have to take permission. As far as a man pay your dowry, the man can enter you and he doesn't need to take permission. This is why things are bad in this generation. How can a man take permission? Because the way God created a woman is that something is open down.
What did she say?
The man can jump in anytime and have his way. You see, God has created it. It's not even good for a woman to wear pants with your husband on the same bed.
So you should just leave it open?
Oh, Jesus.
Leave the door open.
Outside.
You should leave it open because it belongs to the man. You know?
Oh.
It belongs to the man.
Yeah, but Christ also belonged to us.
That's right.
Right? And then he also said, you have to allow me to come in before.
That's right.
Right?
So imagine if Christ treated us like that. We wouldn't be following Christ anymore. So it's now forceful.
Mhm.
If the reason why a lot of women shy away from having sex with their husband because it's always forced upon. There's no love making anymore, so they feel like it's work. If I feel like it's work to sleep with you all the time, then I'm not going to always be in the mood. Then I would have to put in the schedule like the other caller said.
Exactly.
That, okay,
Schedule.
today I'm having sex with my husband. Okay, let me put it on my schedule. Then it's work for me.
That one is abomination. You have to make a schedule to meet your husband. It's abomination.
I agree with you, sis.
Honestly.
I agree with you.
This modern day that we are have really spoiled so many things.
Oh, yes.
Women should know that our body belongs to our husband.
Of course it does. The guys are saying amen.
Because of the way God created a man, a woman cannot just jump on the man because it is something has to get up. But a woman, there's something that needs to get up. God has already made that whole thing.
Oh, Jesus. It's right.
You want the man to ask. Once you see the body cut up, the man is asking. When the body of the man touches you, you are sleeping there and say, wait, the man is already asking. It doesn't mean you have to tell, oh, please, my wife, do I come here today? So please, let's look back and see what our forefathers were doing. And we enjoy sex more. If I put to have sex with my husband on a schedule, on a timetable, for me, I don't know, child. If I'm a man, if I marry and I pay your dowry, and you don't give it to me when I want, but it doesn't mean that I have to use my wife as a job.
They're saying the best caller ever.
I think
They love you, caller.
I agree with you.
The guys love you.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me this chance.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, that was a very heated conversation.
One of they say that this is what they say. Okay, where is it? There's so many messages. Oh my gosh, hold on.
I don't know why mine just froze.
Let's see again.
Let's see.
Trying to let you hear some of the messages. That one is gone.
Which one?
Oh, this one said, so when Christ comes, he's there to stay. And the only way he leaves is when you rejected him. Right? When Christ comes, he's there to stay, but the only way he leaves is when you reject him. So
that's very interesting.
Yes. But again, if there's rejection, there's consent.
If there's rejection, there's no consent.
No, if there's rejection,
you're no longer giving consent anymore. So now they're saying, okay, I don't have your consent. Now I'm now backing up and leaving.
Right.
Yes. But
we had, again, everyone have their different views on it. I can agree, with what some of the caller is saying, but you have to look at it to an extent in a relationship where it can be abusive. Yes. Right? When it comes on to that, it's a total different ballgame because Christ is love. And if you love your partner, you would not treat them a certain way. Right?
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay, we're going to move on to another topic. It looks like you guys don't want to move on. We still have more callers coming in, but we'll move on to a different topic. Or do we take one more?
Yeah, you can take one more.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I just want to say, when you make a covenantal relationship, you cannot break it, because on the day when you get married, you say to the man, yes, I will be with you whenever time you want me. That I do don't only mean to put that ring on your finger. It means because some ladies, once they meet a man and they desire that man, even when the man don't ask them, they're ready to give it.
Yeah.
So when the ring comes, why does the ring changes everything?
No, whether because we're talking on ring or no ring. Because some people said some people are talking on ring, but when we're talking about the ring part and the covenant, yes, we have a covenant, right? But then we have to have consent for the covenant. And in that covenant, not because your husband, because a lot of people always use 1 Corinthians 7
To their own advantage.
to their advantage in
Yes.
regards to that. But it also speaks on the men also, not about the woman, because the man,
It goes both ways.
right, it goes both ways.
Our husband, the husband should not turn her away. And even if your husband, you comes in and you desire your husband and he is sleeping, that thing is not sleeping. You can go and take it and enjoy yourself and you go to sleep. The reason, the woman the same. You can be sleeping and the man comes in and he wants what he wants. That thing don't have any lock on it. You don't have to pull it to, you don't have to get up and pull the lock. He just open it and take what he wants and go to sleep. So I don't know what the big issue is about. Two things that can cause a woman or a man not to want to desire their wife or their husband a certain way is if the woman is seeing somebody else and she don't like that husband that way anymore. She will not give it to him. And likewise the husband, if he's desiring somebody else, he will not have that desire for his wife.
Okay.
But if that man have a high desire for his wife to have her whenever time he wants to have her, I don't see the problem is because we as women, when we go out to work, we cannot tell our boss that we're not coming in. We have to have some reason why we're not going into work. So likewise your husband, you're supposed to communicate with your husband and say, honey,
That's the
today
permission.
You know,
Yes.
yes.
But the reversing it, that's where the permission comes
you
in.
first have to communicate it with him. You don't just let him come in and you puff up and you don't want him to touch you. You call him and you communicate with him and say, honey, if you desire me today, I am not feeling well. So if you come in, don't expect that to happen. Communication is key in a relationship.
But you know, you're answering the question both ways,
You're just trying
right?
to reverse it.
But I agree with you with that. I definitely agree with you, caller. Right? I can ask you one question, caller, right?
Go ahead.
When you're in your relationship, right? And your spouse come in, is it and he desire you, right? Do you always give in all the time, 100%?
All the time.
Oh, Jesus.
You don't have a day where you're not in the mood?
It's not gonna take me the whole night. It's just until that point, and it's done, and he's gone to his bed.
Oh,
If he bring me a flower, or he come in with a nice CD play.
It doesn't take much to keep
No,
you
but
going.
it puts you in the mood.
Yes.
The mood is set, But that's the thing. The mood is set, and then you give into it. So the point we were saying is that the mood is not set. He just come in and just force
yes.
himself, even though you had no communication, nothing.
It is hard for somebody to just come in, and you're not an animal that just come through the door and just start.
But
That's
people
what we're
do
talking
it.
about.
People
Yes.
do it.
That's a dark man who do not understand how to treat a woman.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
We're talking about decent man who understand his
Yes,
woman.
But it's a general
But
question.
yes, if it's a decent man, sure. But this question is generalized. It goes for everyone. Decent, undecent, middle ground, everything, right? So that's why we make it general. So because some because majority of the time it's 90% of women that take these situation to court.
Oh, yes.
Because it's a woman that's being abused in this way. And it doesn't apply to gentlemen.
We don't understand the relation, what the persons are doing in their relationship. How are they handling their relationship?
Right.
We on the outside, we're just hearing what they are saying, what one person is saying. But
Phone line is
Okay,
busy, guys.
Sorry, caller. We're gonna have to cut it short again. There's a lot of calls going on.
Thank you so much,
you're welcome.
Thank you, caller.
Okay. Hello, caller. It seems like everyone wants to stay in this topic.
This topic is hot.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Can I speak now?
Yeah,
Go
sure you
ahead.
can.
I think I disagree with third caller before this very lady.
Okay, it's the one that says leave the door
She
open.
said because the man have a long one and the woman one is open.
Yes.
Okay.
So is it a pit toilet?
What did you say?
Is it a pit toilet?
Oh, that's
Is it-
always open.
Yes.
Is it a well that you jump in and jump out? It's not a well. You have to ask.
Yeah.
You have to be romantic.
Exactly.
First. It's not you just jump in. It's not a well. It's not a pit. It's not a hole. You cannot jump into it like that.
Yeah. Agree with you.
If there is a little romantic, even woman can jump. Woman jump a man.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
Yes.
It's not that only man jump on woman. Woman can jump in a man. It doesn't matter what you have.
Exactly.
Yeah, whether you have long, whether I don't care. I can still jump on you. If you can jump on me, I can jump on you.
Vice versa.
To each other. That is the number one key. The romantic. Ask.
Yes, and it shall be given.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let's do this thing. Let's continue. Let's do it.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much.
Let's get into it.
You're really getting into this, caller. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for accepting my call.
Thank you.
Okay, let's read
we're
what
gonna
is
do
coming.
one last call on this, and that's it. We're not doing any more calls.
So it said, do you need permission to set the mood?
That's a really interesting one.
No, but you know what I would say? No, you don't need permission because you're setting the mood on behalf of you.
Yes.
That's a singular. So I'm setting the mood and
Sorry,
you will have
hold
to
on,
pick
caller.
up on it. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Hello?
Hi.
Okay, caller. What's your view on this?
Okay. First of all, I just want to say, no two relationships are the same. What will work for couple A would not necessarily work for couple B.
True.
And people have different ways to process information, to process ideas, and no two things are the same. So I would say, first of all, it's not marriage. Well, we're talking about marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to marriage. It has to do with a lot of sacrifice, right?
Yes.
You have to be able to sacrifice. Sometimes you might not want something, but you should be able to do that thing to make your spouse happy, to make the other person happy, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't subscribe to the man forcing himself on the woman. I don't.
Right.
Yeah. But then I would say a woman should not let it get to the point where the man has to.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Yeah. So when a woman wants it and you don't, or vice versa, you should be able to make that sacrifice. So
Yes.
it's not like a permission thing, verbal kind of permission thing, like, oh, can we have sex, or can we make love today? And no, I don't, or I'm not in the mood. Because most of the time, men are wired differently than women. Sometimes when you always not in the mood, or most of the times you're not in the mood, you can push the man. Trust me, there are women out there always in the mood. If you're not in the mood for your husband,
there's another woman out there who's gonna be in the mood for your husband.
But caller, can I just add something? Must that always be in a woman's mind? If I don't give it to you, you're gonna go somewhere else. Should that always be the case? And
No,
this is if it's really
100% no.
yes.
I'm just saying, you don't have to push your husband to that point. You have to try as much as, unless you're not well, you're sick. And I believe that if he's your husband and he loves you, he would understand that at this point you're not well, you're physically not able to do it. But it should not be, oh, I'm not just in the mood. No, you can, well, I don't know, but it just depends on their relationship, right? Your husband should be able to have that peace that can put you in the mood anytime.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. All right, caller.
And so I don't suppress your husband asking for permission, and I don't believe in not being in the mood. I believe in sacrifices. Sometimes you're not in the mood, you don't feel like it, but if you see that he wants, sometimes he comes to you, you're like, oh no, and then after a couple of minutes, he comes back, you know, you feel he really wants you, and you have to try and give it to him, whether or not you're not in the mood. Because that is sacrificing relationship. Sometimes it doesn't always go your way, but you have to make sure that there's a common ground.
Yes.
He will do the same. He will do the same for you. You can touch him at the time and he doesn't want it, but he sees that you really want it and he will try to satisfy you.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, caller.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You guys are doing a great job. Kudos, guys.
Thank you. Okay. So guys, let's just reiterate the topic that we're discussing now. Is it rape when your partner has intercourse with you without permission? So this topic is going hot,
Yes.
right? So we want to move on to our next topic right now.
That's right, because you guys
If
are
it's okay with you guys. Or if you have any other questions.
If you have any more questions, you're free to call. But if not, we're just going to wait for 20 seconds and then move on to a different topic.
Yes.
Okay? So what's the next one?
So the next topic is, who should decide how many kids to have in the family? And would that be the marital family or external also?
Okay. That's a really interesting question. So who should decide how many kids should be had in the family?
Right.
Okay. So for me, it should be both. The reason why I said that is because if I want to have 3 children and you want to have 5 children or 2 children, then it's not really going to work, because I'm always going to feel like I'm just there for you to use as someone to have kids for you and not really loved. If we both come into an agreement to say, okay, can we have just 3 children? And then you're like, okay, let's do 3 children. That's fine. But if one person say, let's have 4 children, and the other person disagrees, there's always going to be a problem. Though children are a blessing, but it's a lot to take care of, and it can be draining sometimes. So I believe it should be both.
Between both.
Yes. What do you think?
Well, as for me, before you go into a marital relationship or go into a marriage, you have to outline,
Yes.
right? What you want, what's your goal, right?
Yeah.
Before you go into a marriage. That's why dating is important.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So when you're going into that relationship and that marriage with someone, you can say, okay, how many kids? Because normally when you're dating, you want to say how many kids you want.
Yeah.
Right? And then from there, you guys have to set the middle ground. One want 5, one want 10. Okay, let's go in the middle. Right? Cut it down.
That's true.
Because at the end of the day, we have to look on both sides, the woman perspective and the man perspective also, right?
Very important.
Yes. So both party will have to play the part in how many kids. The man can just come to you and say, well, I want 10, give me 10, and that's final.
And plus, this has been an issue for a lot of people in certain relationships, because it would be times where the man wants to have 3 children, and then the lady goes and gets pregnant for the man again. Though they're married, this is a married couple. Then the lady goes ahead and get pregnant, and then the man ends up hating the woman, ends up, mistreating the woman, telling the woman, I never asked you to get pregnant. I never asked you to do this. But I'm like, isn't that your child?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you guys did agree to have this, if it happened, then
You
hey,
have to accept it.
Yes, because she didn't just put it in her. You put that thing
Exactly.
in her, and something was made.
Especially if you don't ask for consent.
Yes, especially if you don't ask for consent and you proceed green light. You think it's always green light all the time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if it happens, then you have to take responsibility.
Precisely.
You can't just think it's okay for you to constantly just put your thing in her, and then once that happens, or if she gets pregnant, because you're not looking to have kids right now or any more kids, you abandon the woman.
Right.
Some men even run away. I'm like, to me, is that right?
Not at all. Not at all. And if we're settling on the standard where it comes on biblically, that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen at all. Because we've been into a relationship, as for example, we set this in stone. Say, okay, it's not set in stone. We want to have 3 kids. We have 3 kids. Or we want to have 2 kids, we have 2 kids.
Yes.
But again, we're still being sexually active, right? Anything can happen by God's grace. Mm-hmm. When that child comes, what are you going to do as a man and as the wife? We have to put plans in place because it doesn't happen miraculously like how Jesus came about.
Oh, yes.
Right? So between 2 persons. So a man should stand his ground and say, okay, this is what we're going to do since this happened.
Yes.
Don't go bring to the table about do no abortion and no do anything like
Family
that.
planning is even there. That's
Right?
the case. Yes.
Exactly, family plan. But even that could fail too.
That's true.
Right? Even that could fail. So the thing is the type of relationship that we have that will determine the outcome at large.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, yes. It's true.
Definitely. So if you're in a relationship, the foundation has to be set before. No one will know someone 100%. But
Yes.
it's the going forward, how we proceed as a couple.
Oh, yes.
Right?
I completely agree. So we just want to get you guys' opinion, what you think about this. Who should decide how many children should a couple have in a family? Should it be the men that should decide how many kids a couple should have, or should it be the woman, since she's the one that's going to be carrying the child at the end of the day? So who should decide? So if you guys want to start calling in and giving your opinions, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, feel free
okay?
to.
So feel free.
What about the parents of the couple?
Parents, why should the parents of the couple, why should they decide?
They can suggest.
No, they cannot. No.
They can suggest.
Oh no, because
Suggest. That doesn't mean you're agreeing.
In a marriage, it's about 2, right? 2
Yes.
becomes 1. God didn't say 3 third party. When another person's opinion starts to come in, now it's not 3 becomes 1.
But the thing is, it's an opinion. You don't have to take it.
But
because,
why would you?
for example, my mother-in-law could say, you guys should have 3 kids or 4 kids.
Because she's not gonna be there to take care of
but
the
the thing, she can say it. It's free will, right? She can suggest it. But this the question: do you take the suggestion?
Third party opinion is not
It's
to be
like,
allowed in a relationship. Yes, rule out. Even if your father-in-law is telling you you need to have more kids and pump, nobody knows what's gonna happen tomorrow. What if, God forbid, your partner is no longer there? Then you have to carry all that load by yourself.
Give it to father-in-law.
And he takes it back to you saying, no. You opened your legs and you got pregnant, so you take care of it. So I always say, make that decision together. As a woman, always have your backup plan. How many kids can I have? God forbid, just in case my partner is no longer there tomorrow. How many kids can I handle taking care of without killing myself, without overstressing myself, or without going into depression? How many kids can I have? So if you just think, every year, kids, you're not going to be able to afford education for them. That's number 1. Number 2, kids after education sometimes want to get married. you won't be able to support them. If you do, it's going to be constantly tiring for you all the time.
Yes. Oh yes.
Yes. So you guys start calling in and give us your own opinion, what you think about this. Okay?
A lot of people would say, the Bible says that you should what? Have your quiver full? Or what does it say?
Was go out in the world and what? Multiply.
Multiply.
Yes, I've seen a case where a couple every single year they have kids, they have a baby every single year, and then all of a sudden the man was no more. Then she was stuck. Then she was stuck to take care of all these kids by herself. Now what does she do? She has to start begging people for help. Doesn't really need to come to that situation. No. If you guys decide together, at least when you decide, you have things put in place already to say, okay, this is how much kids we're going to have, because kids are very expensive to take care of. You need to make sure their educational funds are in place. You need to make sure certain things are in place. If they're not in place, you know, okay, every single month, this is how much I'm putting away for the kids. If not, your kids are going to be asking you some questions. Mommy and Daddy, what did you guys do?
Why did you come trouble me?
Yes.
I was good woman.
Yeah.
You know? But let me read what some of the comments are. They said we're only having this situation because we abandoned God's commandment. He said multiply and replenish the earth.
Wisdom. What I would say to that? Yes, wisdom. He did say multiply. He didn't verbally tell you how much to have. So we also have to learn to use our wisdom. If you don't use your wisdom, at the end of the day, you will suffer. Like Nigerian people always say, you go suffer. You go suffer. Yes, because what if, in another case now, the man who walks out and he says he no longer wants to be with you or he's no longer interested? Who's gonna be stuck with all those children? It always, at the end of the day, it's always the women, always, stuck with the kids. If that's the situation, nobody prays for a bad situation, but if that be the case, okay. So what's the other?
So I guess this commenter is saying that because we have to make sure that we're lead into the right relationship where such thing like that, like separation between partner, doesn't happen. Make sure it's orchestrated by God, basically. And then when it's orchestrated by God, you should be fruitful and multiply, right? The only way I can be fruitful and multiply, thank God for the kids that He has blessed me with.
Oh yes.
Right? Is if I have a lot of moolah. You know what I'm saying?
even with a lot of moolah,
No,
you have to make sure, like mentally, are you ready as well? That's another
mentally,
thing.
then I can have get a maid, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
but I'm thinking like earthwise now, because a lot of us take sometimes it's spiritually minded, and then we said we're not off this earth, but we still have to live in the earth by the Spirit.
Yes.
Right? So in that case now, we have to have a cap. A lot of people say God gives you the amount of egg that you're supposed to produce.
Oh, if that was the case, a lot of people would have millions of children.
So we don't know, but there's a cap for me and for my husband. Because it's not pretty. I don't know how. My grandmother had
Just imagine
13.
That's a lot of children.
13 my grandmother had. God bless her soul.
And another question is, you're having all these children. Are you going to be able to be there for each and every one of the kids mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally? Is the love always going to be the same? Can you love them the same? No. Because there's always going to be something lacking, because you have so much children, you have your own life to live as well. You're not going to have a life, period.
I think the love will be there, but it's just the attention for all of them. The love will be there.
I kind of disagree.
Yeah?
Yes, because most of the time when you end up having so much children, the love for some kids will not always be there. It will be like...
It depends on the kid, though.
You sometimes have more... Let me just write, we're having another technical difficulties again.
If you guys can hear us and see us, so please comment and let us know, please. It said loading from our side.
Okay, so we're just going through some network issues. If you can hear us, just try to bear with us, please.
Okay, they said you guys are back.
Okay.
Yes. But some of them are saying, what about the woman that walks away? It goes both ways in terms of the kids.
Okay. Oh, it's back off again. Oh boy. Let me see.
Back on.
And it's on and off. Okay, I think it's live now. Yes. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Okay, so one more questions and then we move on to something else.
So we're going to move to the next question?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, so the next question is it a good idea to have a joint account with your spouse? Is it a good idea to have joint accounts with your spouse? What's your take on that, guys? You want to touch it?
Sure.
You want to
okay,
start
we have a caller on
Okay.
Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hi, can you turn your background down a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you now. Okay, we're listening.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
If, for example,
Hello, we can't hear you anymore. Okay, it's reconnected. Hello? Yes, okay, you're back. We can hear you now. So what's your take on how many kids should a family have, or who should decide how many kids to have in a family?
okay, before I ask my question, let me answer yours. Okay, for the family, depend. Supposed to be the man and the woman because yes, it's supposed to be the man and the woman because they decide and depend on the finances. Depend what how many money you have in your bank account can determine how many children that you can have in future. You understand? Because it's very expensive.
Yes.
And number two, you have to consider the woman because it's the woman that push. A man just puts, a woman push. You understand?
Exactly.
You know, there's something I've heard in the past. Do you know how long I carry the child because it's so painful? And then the man replies, do you know how long I've been carrying the sperm inside of me?
No, the expenses, the expenses, it depends on the woman and the man, you understand? If the woman is working, it can help you. It don't depend on the man, you understand? But for the 9 months, if maybe a woman can transfer 4 months for the man, it would have been better. But he cannot do. Because it's very heavy. A woman take a baby for 9 months. For this, you cannot decide that the woman supposed to give you 10 children, 7 children. The man does not supposed to decide. Supposed to go with a beg, please. I just need 3 children. Let's just do it, please, my wife. You understand? It's not maybe I need 10 children. You must give me 10 children. You go to the hospital and push. Let's see how you will be.
So that communication. Yes. Okay. So what was your question, caller?
Okay. My question is this. After 3 days after you get married and you discover that your wife cannot give you a baby, and she know before when you are dating her, she never told you anything like this, and she hid it from you, and you discover after you get married, what will you do?
Well,
okay.
That's a very interesting topic. Well, she set the foundation on a lie.
Yes.
Right? That is set on a lie, and if it's something like that, you need to bring forth that before you get into a relation and a marriage, especially when it comes on to kids.
Oh yes, because a lot of partners don't play when it comes to kids.
Yep.
And any foundation you build on the lie will be destroyed. It's like you're building on sand. You're not building on a rock. Anything built on sand will be, at the end of the day, flushed out and washed away. So if she lied to you that if she lies to you about her being able to have kids, then it's a big problem because some people want children.
They do.
Most of the time, it will end in divorce because if I'm very fertile and I can have children, and then you get married to me and you have low sperm count, and most of the time you can't have children, and then you lie to me that you can have children, the next thing on my mind is to divorce you.
Oh, yes.
Because that was built on a lie. You didn't tell me the truth that you were able to have children. You told me a lie. So now I'm going to divorce you because it was built on a lie. Anything built on a lie, it takes by the grace of God for it to survive.
I can understand if you guys went into that marriage and you don't know. That's a total different thing.
What do you mean you don't know? Like, did you ask questions before getting into the marriage?
No, the lady didn't know that she could have.
Oh, okay.
Right? So that's totally different in comparison to if she knew and don't say anything.
Yes, that's another interesting one too as well.
Yeah.
Yes. I hope
my answer is that to ghost the person, or I don't understand. Sorry.
But the thing is that, do you love that person? Would you want to stay with that person? Or are you able to do adoption? You know, that's where the communication lies between you and your partner. Or do you want to throw away the years that you guys spend together? Are you willing to forgive? So that would be the question between both of you.
But then always, for me, when people use the word love, some people can be very manipulative with the word love. Because I love you doesn't mean I have to take your lies and your manipulation and, you know, other things that come with, you know, the things a lot of people give in most relationship.
Right.
For me, love is sacrifice. Love is a lot of things. Love isn't lies. You lied to me. If you lied to me in the relationship, did you really love me? Because if you love me enough and I made it clear from the beginning that I wanted children, this is how much children I wanted, and we both made an agreement before going into that relationship, and then to find out that you lied to me, oh, it's gonna break loose. Then I'm gonna say no.
Oh, yes.
Because love is just not enough if it's built on lies. No. I hope we answered.
Okay, thank you so much. I understand because. Okay, I understand. Thank you so much.
Thank you, caller. Okay, that was interesting. What do you guys think? If your partner lied to you that she could have children, and then at the end of the day, you end up finding out that she lied and that she couldn't have children, and then you guys get married now, and now you find out you can't have children. What would you do? You find out she was lying that she said she could have children. What would you do? Would you still stay with your partner and adopt children? Or would you leave knowing that she lied to you about her being able to have children?
Right. Let me know what you think. Some says divorce. Right away.
We have another caller. Hello, caller.
Hello. Yeah, so the last caller, I just wanted to actually recap on what he was asking.
Okay.
Yeah, if the lady knew that she couldn't have kids, and she ended up, we get married and everything, because of course, like you said, having kids is very important to most couples.
Yes.
So if you lied to me about those things, well, exactly what you said to that last caller, which was a very good question actually. The answer lies between you and that person. This is an answer that can only be answered, or a question that can only be answered by you and that person. Well, as for me, I think I would divorce. That's just my opinion, because that's a big lie. There's some lies that you
can accept.
Yes, exactly.
That be overlooked it, but that's a big lie. That's somebody that would literally, that person, I would not trust you. I wouldn't even want to sleep beside you, because that lie is so big.
Deep,
that
yes.
Can kill you without you even.
We don't want any killing now.
and I think for that, to answer the last caller's question, it's up to you, based on your history, based on your relationship, how well you know the person.
Right.
Did that person have to lie because the person really wanted to be with you? What have you guys been through? You understand?
Right.
If she know that if she told you before you guys got married, you would leave her.
But hold on, caller. Can I just add to this? Just because you want to be with someone, it is not okay to lie to them just to be with them. If you have to lie to them to be with them, then you have to keep lying to keep them, right? Then it's not of God, right?
Yeah, but you know, sometimes you can love somebody so much that,
Then-
that you know, at that moment, you feel like
Yeah, I think I can see how that plays in.
Is to just give a lie, just tell a lie.
So you don't lose
Because
them.
remember,
You will still lose them in the end because you are gonna have to keep lying.
Not really.
Guess what? Once I've lied, then I still have some chance to apologize.
I can understand where it's coming from. Yeah, but it depends on the lie.
Yes, like Billa Vybz said, it depends on the lie. Certain lie are just not forgivable. Well, you can still forgive the person, but
Gots to go.
you got to go. Exactly. Like you're.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Have you ever lost something so much that you felt like you had to have that thing? And I'm using a thing. I'm not using a person. Just using a thing. You had to get that thing, and the only way you could have got that thing was to do something that is not pleasant to get that thing. Have you ever been in that
Okay,
situation?
yes, but this is referring to a human being now. We don't want to put someone's life on hold.
That's
No.
not to do with morals.
Yes,
right?
I understand.
If you're gonna lie about one thing, who knows what else you can lie about? So,
Yes, but it
as
depends.
a person, Right.
Okay, it really depends though, okay? So when we're talking about lying now, that you cannot have children, you lie to your partner, you can't have kids, and then you end up telling your partner that you can have kids. That's major. That is extreme. That's really major. You know, to some people, it's like a death, a death sentence.
yes.
It's like you've left me to a death sentence.
Yeah, because you have no legacy to carry on.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
you know, see the thing is, I am not agreeing that the lady woman should lie about how her family she is so she can have kids. I definitely agree. I would definitely need that woman.
But caller, you
Every single thing you do after that is going to be questioned.
hello?
So hello?
Speak louder.
Yeah, so that goes back to say as well,
Yeah,
what
sorry.
you guys were talking about in terms of bank account with our partner. Can you imagine you dealing with somebody that lied about having kids? And that person, how are you going to have a joint account with that person? And remember, in a relationship or in a married between a couple, you want to be able to explore all these things. Joint accounts, express yourself to each other, so on and so forth. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
Right. So if you lie about something that big, I can't even bring money to you and say, can you help me hold this money?
Oh yes.
I cannot put your name in my bank account. I don't even want to put your name in my house.
I guess then you just have to don't continue with that relationship.
Yes.
That's why I said divorce. Divorce would be the way to go.
Okay.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Take care. Wow, that was very interesting.
Hot topic, guys.
Oh yes. So another thing I just want to add to this too. If you lie to get someone to be with you, you're always going to keep lying to keep them. It will get exhausting in it would get exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, don't lie to be with anyone. Anyone that would love you would love you. Anyone that would be with you would be with you. And if it's not, that relationship isn't built on a solid foundation, it will break.
Oh yeah.
And if it's built on lie, it's not built on solid foundation, it will break. So please build a relationship based on truth and it will last. Okay?
For me, a lot of guys, it could be vice versa, guys and ladies. They see something that they want,
Mhm.
all right? So they'll go out of the way to say, you know what, I have to say this in order to get her or get him. And then once they're in it, they might confess about it.
But we said depends on the lie.
Right? So it depends on the
Yes.
lie. Because I know some guys, they might lie about their age, they might lie about having this car, they might lie about stuff like that. But those could be forgivable lies.
Oh, yes.
Right? But when it comes on to having children,
But some people, it might not be forgivable.
exactly, it depends on the person.
Yes,
then.
yes. Okay, so we haven't touched up on the bank account. So the question was,
is it a good idea to have joint account with your spouse? What is it for you? For me, most definitely.
okay, why do you say so?
Okay, so let me just put the notes that I have put down. So both spouse can deposit and withdraw whenever they feel like to pay bills, stuff like that. When you have an open relationship that you're able to trust your partner when it comes down to the financial aspect of the relationship, that's key.
Yes.
If you can trust your partner, because when you're in a marriage, it's a covenant between both of you. There shouldn't be any secrets.
Oh, yeah.
There shouldn't be any secret. So you both have to have that joint account. Not to say if you don't have it, you don't have a trusting relationship.
Yes.
Right? But having it is a plus for me. So, for example, for me and my husband, we will say, okay, we need to set this plan. We have our joint account. Whatever needs to take place, we can say, okay, let's sit down, go to the drawing board. This is what needs to be done. This is what we're putting in, Put on it to me is set a good relationship, and it also to show your trust.
Yes.
Your trust. And if your man can't trust you with money, something is wrong. And if your woman can't trust you with money, something is definitely wrong.
Oh, yes. So my view on that, I definitely agree. If you're in a relationship, you should definitely have a joint account. Like if you watch my videos, like I always mention in my videos, two couples in a relationship should have 3 bank accounts, okay? 1, a joint account between you and your partner, okay? 2, you should have your own separate savings account. And 3, another check-in account. So it should be 3 accounts, okay? So that joint account between you and your spouse, you guys should be able to save money together. 1, in case of a rainy day. 2, in case you're trying to buy a home or a car or whatever, for whatever investment. That's what the joint account is for. And those 2 other accounts are for you. He shouldn't have any right to go in there. You shouldn't have any right to go in his. Yes, unless permission.
Yes,
Oh,
permission. But you have the right. Because
permission.
No, remember, the man have the right to you, but permission is the key.
Exactly.
Right?
But without permission, there's no right. That's why I said he doesn't have a right unless he has permission, because that's you. It doesn't mean because you're not married to him, he owns you. You still have your own life. You're still entitled to a little bit of your own time and everything. Just because you're married to him, it doesn't mean everything is now his. It's like, I own you, I need to do this with you if I need this. No.
But everything, okay, for me, everything is, right? Everything is. Down to the very clothes you're wearing. Everything is. The reason why I'm saying this is right. Because you become one in a relationship, right? If you're putting aside something, that's okay. But at the end of the day, both parties will be aware of it, just for a rainy day. If you have your account and your husband comes to you and say, okay, what's in your account? I can freely give my husband my phone and say, okay, go ahead, what do you want to see? This and
Unless
that.
you're hiding something.
Unless you're hiding something,
yes.
Right? So at any time, if you can go to your husband and say what's happening, or he can come to you and say what's happening, there's no transparency in that relationship.
Yes, it's always you're hiding something. That one I definitely agree. Yes.
So that's my viewpoint on that.
I absolutely agree with that. You always have to be transparent in your relationship. It doesn't mean you're not entitled to a little bit of your own
privacy.
Yes. Because when you don't have a little bit of privacy, it, at a point like, can I get some space, please? Because you're always going to feel like he's breathing on you all the time, That's why it's good to go to work. You go, mingle with other people. You come back and you're all relaxed.
I guess we have a next caller.
Okay.
Hi, caller.
Hello?
Hi, thanks for calling.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm interested in what you guys are discussing.
Which one of the topic?
Now, I think right now you guys are on
So,
the money aspect.
yeah, so the question is it a good idea to have joint account with your spouse?
For me, it's yes.
Okay. What's your reasoning behind that?
The reason is that when you guys are united together, you can be successful, especially in this Western world.
Mm-hmm.
Like back home, like everyone can do things on their own. But I think they have opened their eyes now that it is good that you save money together. If you want to build a house, we build back home, we buy here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to buy a house, it will be easy for you.
Right.
But if you are saving differently, this one gather his money, he use it, spend it on buy his or house.
Mm-hmm.
You guys cannot go nowhere. They both not go nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even buy a car in this country, it will be hard for one person.
Oh yes.
Not to even talk of down payment of a house.
Mm-hmm.
Have joint account and they can still have savings account. In the sense that when they receive their salary, the money will go.
Sorry, you're breaking
One
up.
of them will take the one. Okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. When they have both joint accounts, when they get their money, the money will go to joint account. Both of them will bring out the one they're gonna spend.
Mm-hmm.
This is for grocery. This is for mortgage payment or rent payment or whatever. So both of them will take what they will spend in the week or in the month. Okay, this is what I'm gonna spend. Whether it's $100 or €100 or 10,000 naira or whatever money it is or whatever, they put it aside. This one will take it and go put it in the savings account. Definitely, this one will know how much this one take.
Oh, yes.
Put in.
We can't hear her anymore.
Hello? Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
Know how you're gonna use it. You might know how you're gonna use it. Oh, hello. Hello.
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I said that savings, maybe like, okay, let me just say $100 or €100. The woman know how they're gonna spend this €100. Maybe you're gonna use it for salon.
Hello?
Okay.
Okay,
We're
so
just
we're gonna-
call her back. We're having
Yes.
some technical difficulties. Sorry, caller, we can't really hear you. It's breaking, so we're just gonna hang up and receive another caller. Okay? Sorry about that.
Sorry
if you're
about that.
watching. So we're gonna receive another caller. So if you're watching, if you want to call, you're free to do so. So we're gonna repeat the question again.
Is it a good idea to have joint account with your spouse?
Okay. You can answer.
Okay, hi caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, the phone just went out just now.
Okay.
So what I was just saying, it is good for couple to have joint accounts so that they can plan for the success of their lives.
Right.
Without planning together, they cannot make it,
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
especially in this Western world.
it's true.
To even buy a house, they can't. To even
Right.
buy a car, they can't. But when they plan together, have joint accounts, save their money together, use the money wisely together,
Mm-hmm.
they will be very, very successful.
Oh yes.
What
will take one person that is saving to do in 20 years. When you are joining together and
Shorten
work
the time.
together,
Yes.
together, it will take both of you only 2 years.
Right.
So the other hand, they can still have savings accounts. Meanwhile, when they bring the money, they put it in this joint account. They can take like $100, €100, put it in their savings account.
Mm-hmm.
So the 100 the lady take, she can took her hair stuff, money from there. The man can took out his expensive from his own, so it doesn't concern the woman how you use it that way. It doesn't concern the woman how the woman use it to do her hair, because they already give it to her as a spend money, and the man for spend money. Maybe.
Okay, caller, we're gonna cut it short.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes. So we're gonna take the next caller, okay? Thank you so much for your input on this.
Okay, thank you very much for accepting my call.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, so we had a couple people call in. I'm just going to return back the call one after the other. So I hope you're by your phone. I'm giving you the call back now. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes, so what is your view on this? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I buy the idea that you people are trying to put forth for couple having the same accounts. It will help the man, it will help the woman.
Yes.
In the sense that it will help them to spend their money wisely.
It's true.
Because sometimes when they are having their money separately, you see you can buy anything, buy clothes, especially with women, buy unnecessary things. And men too, they can also buy something which is not relevant. But when they have the same purse, and they know that at the ending of the month, they are going to contribute to one purse. So they will learn to be able to save their money, so that at the ending of the month, they'll be able to put that money in a proper place. And at the end, they'll be able also to use that money properly. So I thank you guys. It's a very good idea. And from this line, so I want to advise couples that have not started. It is very good that you start. Let us not be selfish, especially with women. Oh, maybe if I join account with my husband, he will spend it or this will happen. No. This is a very good topic. Just let's try it, and I know at the end something good will come out from it.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
you guys.
Thank you.
so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so there was one more caller. We're just gonna give the caller a phone back. So stay by your phone. If you called and we didn't get to you, we will surely call you back, okay? So this is a very important conversation, because a lot of people have been having... Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, turn your...
I hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Turn your background down. It's a bit noisy.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I speak with you?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. The question is that if you can have the same account with your wife or with your husband.
With yes, your wife, your husband, your partner in general. We're just generalizing it. If you can, yes.
Okay. Partner in general. For me, I will say yes and I will say no at the same time. Because why I said yes and why I said no at the same time is because the yes depends on the woman and the yes depends on the man. If you have a man that is a drunkard, you cannot have the same account with him. It's not possible. If you have a woman that is a flesser, that love how to dress, that love something to buy, necessary thing to buy, you cannot have account with him. With her, sorry. For this is why I said yes and I said no. Depend on the person. There is a woman that you cannot trust.
Yes, that's
Give
true.
more, have an excuse to give you. You understand? Some women are waiting for your salary. They are waiting for your salary to come. If they know the time your salary are coming, maybe on the time for your salary, they bring the story that their mother is dead.
Did you guys hear that?
This kind of woman, you
It's
cannot
true.
have the same account with her.
Yeah.
You understand?
It depends on the person that you're with.
Oh
I
yes.
hope you can.
Oh yes, we can hear you.
For men, it's just like that too. Because some men like material things, they love things, they love to buy things. You can have the same account with them, they can use the money in their account, they tell you another story. For it depends on the person. You have to trust the person, not just trust. Because for me, I don't see anything. I don't see anything in love. I depend on trust. I depend on belief. For this is not just love. I don't say if you love the woman, you can have the same account with him or her. For this, I disagree. Depend on the person. Depend how the person is serious. If, for example, you are not working, I am a man, I am working. My wife, she's not working. She want me to have the same account with her. It's not possible. Because I am the one that is working.
But as for the account, you can have authorization to have two authorization before anyone can take anything from that account. So if you need something from that account, you and your wife will have to go in order for that transaction to take effect.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I know that it can happen like that, but it's a big stress to me. You understand?
I see.
Because it's like I have the money in my account, I am the one that put the money there, but I have to go and ask permission from my wife. It's not possible. It's like
Okay.
Oh.
if I decided to have family account is different. Maybe 10% of my salary can be going to the family account is a different case. For this, we can do something like that. But not just the same. Depend on the woman, all the same. Depend on the man. Because there's some women that is very nice. You understand? You can give them something to hold and it will be safe. You understand?
Right.
That's just it.
All right, caller. Thank you so much. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been going through the same situation.
Yeah, most
and they don't know what to do. Sometimes you want to have joint account with your spouse, but your spouse is not responsible. Every time you put money in there, you see the money going down day by day. So with that kind of a person, how can you have joint account with that partner? Do you understand? So if it's a partner that you guys have mutual agreement, you have the same, focus, and you know where you're going. Yes, having a joint account is a goal. Like nobody's going to be going in there without anyone's knowledge.
Right.
Yes.
And then you can, if he does, you can see, and then that's where the communication comes in. What happened here? What it's for? This is what it's for, and stuff like that.
Yes, definitely. If anyone has any more question about that before we move into a different topic, please do so, because we're gonna move on to something else. Okay, do you have any on your, let me check if anyone has left any. Okay, so we're gonna move on to a different topic.
So the next topic is, what happened after marriage? How do you keep the passion burning in the marriage?
Okay.
After marriage, what happened?
Yes. Okay, so do you want to start first?
You can go ahead.
Okay. So for me, a lot of people get the word marriage wrong, okay? When you're married, it doesn't mean you're trapped. Because a lot of people think when you're married, all of a sudden you're trapped. You can no longer have your time with your girls or anything. No, there's still life after marriage.
Oh, yes.
Marriage, just because you're in a marriage doesn't mean that you're dead or you're trapped.
No.
A marriage is a union between two people, yes. But God said a man would leave his mother and his father and, come to his wife. Yes. He didn't say, women, don't have any other relationship outside. I'm not talking about having a male relationship. I'm talking about having friends. Not just anyhow friends, responsible friends, married friends. Because when you're married now, you can't just have single friends anymore.
Because the ones that single.
Yeah. Oh yes. And there are so many things that go on behind closed doors in a marriage. Communication is one of them when you're married. One thing a lot of people misunderstand is when you're married, how to communicate is so important in a marriage.
Yeah.
Some people, when they're talking to their husband or when they're talking to their wife, it's always loud all the time. That's not the case. When you're talking to your partner, it should be soft toned. Unless you guys are heated or in an argument, but still, it still has to be respected. Yes. Just because you're upset with the other partner doesn't mean you can just talk to your partner anyhow.
Exactly.
Oh, are you crazy? Are you mad? Are you this? No. No. Do we talk to God like that?
Exactly.
Do we talk to God like that? No. Because if we think about it, God said men are the head. You should submit to your head. So if you're talking to your head anyhow, that head needs to be taken. If head is taken up now, you are going down with it because, yes. So marriage is all about communication, trust, love, and one more thing. I know you can complete that one.
What?
We have communication, we have love, we have trust, and there's one more thing.
What? The big S? Which one?
Okay, so when you are married to your partner, right? When I say communication, it's how do you communicate with your partner, right? What language do you use to communicate with your partner? Do you communicate with your partner in a violent way? Do you communicate with your partner in an abusive manner? Because if you do, your children are watching that.
Yes.
Anything you do, your children are always watching. Think about it. Anything your children see in your marriage, they're going to carry that onto their own marriage. Imagine your child coming to you saying, "Mommy, my marriage is terrible. My marriage is this." How would that make you feel? It would make you feel good. So what you want your children to see, you should always live by that.
Yeah.
Yes. So live by example, whatever you want your children to see. If you're always arguing with your husband, you guys are always yelling and shouting and, insulting each other and throwing abuses on each other, that's what your kids are going to see. And when they see that, that's exactly the kind of marriage they think it's okay to have, right? And then now the trust. When you're in the marriage, if you don't trust your partner, I would suggest do not go into that marriage with them because it's going to be headache for the other partner when you go into the marriage.
Oh, yes.
When you don't trust them, it's like, you married me, but you don't trust me. Any little thing I do, you're on your phone. Wait, haven't you?
Oh, yes. No.
To me, it's like I will feel like I'm always like, you're
attacking.
And not only that, it's like, I feel like there's no air for me to breathe. All the time, you're always in my space.
Like
every time I'm on my phone, yes, I will feel trapped in that relationship. And keep thinking, is this it for me? Did I really marry the wrong person? Did I marry the right person?
Oh, yes.
Yes, trust is very important. If you don't trust your partner, do not go into marriage with them. If you've been in a relationship, it's a headache. For people that are going through trust issues, fix yourself first. I would say work on yourself. Go for counseling before you say yes I do. Because once you say yes I do, it's supposed to be forever thing. If there's no trust in a marriage, do not marry and approach. Don't even approach that word marriage because you don't want to be put in. Yeah, settings.
Could have some music playing.
Yeah, instead of just
in the background.
Yeah, I wonder if they can see us though.
Yes, they can
see us. Sorry guys, just bear with us. If you can see us, we're trying to fix
We're having some internet issues, so
Yes.
just bear with us for a moment, okay? Just get some juice, sip on something in the meantime.
Oh yes, because it's about to get heated again. Okay, so this topic
you
is
go.
very.
Yes. Hello, Sassydee.
That was like long back. Let's see. I believe we're live. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we're back.
on. Thank you,
Sorry
Lord.
about that, guys. So sorry that we had to keep you guys this long. Okay. So let's go back to the other question again. We just fingers crossed that this internet issue stays the
Doesn't
same.
happen again.
Yes, it doesn't happen again. So we hope not. We're keeping fingers crossed. So
Let's go back over the last one that we were on before we got disconnected.
oh yes.
Okay, so that topic is what happened after marriage? How to keep the passion burning in the marriage. Please let me know if you can hear me. Please let me know if you can see us.
Oh yes.
Okay, guys? So just let me repeat the question again. What happened after marriage? How to keep the passion burning in the marriage.
Yes. Okay. So for me, like I was saying before, there are so many things that you can do to keep your passion burning in a marriage, okay? So number one, dating is number one. Just because you're married, it doesn't mean you still can't date your spouse.
Right.
Okay? Your spouse should be everything to you. You should be everything to your spouse. You can't say, oh, because I'm married now, I don't do dates anymore. I don't do this anymore. For some people, it's like, I'm too holy. Everything. Some people don't even have sex on their wedding nights. I'm like, you better stop that.
What are they saving it for?
Huh?
What are they saving it for?
Yes, you're married now. What are you saving it for? I heard a married couple saying, oh, on my wedding night, I did all night. I was praying, shabba, 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 shabba. I'm like, shut your mouth. I'm like, on your wedding day or wedding night, open that thing real wide.
Exactly.
Yes. You are now married. It's now legalized both on earth and in heaven. There's nothing anymore that you're now hiding. So what is there to hide? What are you really hiding? That's one thing that, to spice up the relationship, going on a
Keep it
date.
going.
Yes. Take your partner out, go for a nice walk, and don't just make it all about sex all the time, because that's when it's going to become a chore, right? So when it comes down to sex, hero love making, okay? So it should always be love making, not, oh, I want to have sex with you. Open your legs, let me go in. Sometimes some men don't even ask. When they get married to their wives, they think they own them. They think, I own your body. I'm not married to you, so open and close. So when the woman doesn't open now, it becomes a punching bag. I'm not going to beat you because I have more power over you, so I will punch you until you give that to me because I'm married to you now. No, it shouldn't be like that when you're married. After you marry, it should be, I know it's not always going to be rosy.
Oh, yes.
That's one thing people need to understand. You're always going to have your ups and downs when you're married. There's always going to be ups and downs. You're not sometimes not going to feel like you're in the mood. Sometimes life hits you hard. It may be you lost a loved one, your grandparents or whomever, and life really just hits you and you go into that depression mode. When you're in a marriage, your partner should be able to support you throughout everything. There should be a supporter. There should be your best friend. There should be your lover.
Everything.
There should be a sex mate.
Exactly.
There should be everything. Everything. There's no more hide and seek. It's transparent. Everything. One thing I heard a couple saying, when my husband wants to shower, they will go in the shower and then they will cover up when they're coming out so I don't see them naked. Shut your mouth. Like, I'm like, and then I have to ask the person, has your partner seen, have you seen your partner, everything with lights on and everything? You should see, because if you don't know what your partners look like.
What kind of hide and seek? This is reason.
Yes, you should be able to know your partner in and out.
Oh yes.
Everything open and there's no yes, transparent. And then I ask the person, does your partner love you? And then I went on and asked more questions. You cannot be closed in a relationship. A relationship is all about transparent. Everything has to be transparent. If you feel like you have to hide anything from your partner, then that relationship is a no-go area for you. You need to head out. When you are now married, it's now two. It's two in one, okay? If you understand that. You guys are two, but you're now one. Your thoughts, everything, you guys become one. Your decision making, you make your decisions together. Everything, okay? Including children, like we mentioned before. And when you are married now, third party is not allowed. A lot of people misunderstand that. When you are married, not even your parents should have their own opinion in your marriage. Not his parents, not your parents. No one should have any opinion that affects your marriage. God did not say when you are married, it's now between what? You, your parents, and whatever. He said two shall become one, not three shall become one.
Exactly.
So if anything is wrong in your relationship that you feel like you cannot resolve, then you cannot step outside of your marriage and ask for help. It's called counseling, right? But if your marriage is going rosy or whatever, you're always bringing your information outside. It's not healthy. Before you know it, that marriage will go down completely.
Oh, yes.
It's always safe to keep everything inside.
Deal with it.
Yes.
Both of you deal with it.
If two of you get married and you cannot deal with whatever you are going through, then that marriage is going to be rocky until the point where it just falls. Because you're always going to be battling with each other, right? But if it gets to the point, it depends on the situation though. When it gets to the point where a certain situation arises and you cannot handle the situation, now you can step outside of your marriage and get counseling. That is what I think on my perspective when it comes to life after marriage. Now, to keep it spicy.
Is that the spice part now, guys? Listen.
Yes, we're at the spice part now. To keep it spicy now, okay? It's not all about, covering up all the time like your mother Mary or Holy Mary. Like your Holy Mary. A marriage should be about open book, transparent. Like the color that I called earlier saying no underwear.
Go to your bed.
Go to your bed with nothing on, no underwear. In a way, I completely agree. In a way, I completely disagree. Because when you have everything too open, it gets like
boring.
It gets too boring. Sometimes you need to close and tease a little bit.
Yes.
You need to tease your
more
partner.
engaging. Not too easy.
Yes.
To take
Yes. Sometimes you need to make him work for it. Like, ooh la la, come and work for it. If he's always getting it so easy, sometimes they take advantage. It's like, it's just this thing. I'm so
boring.
Yes, it's boring. But if you're okay with that, if that's something you agreed on, fine.
Yeah.
But that will get boring. That's one thing. If you're planning not to wear any underwear, please wear a long gown. So he has to go fishing.
Okay, bring your net. Let's go fishing.
So you can go fishing. Don't just all the time either covering up from head to toe. I don't agree with that because now it's like he wants it. You purposely put on jeans going to bed, or you purposely put on tight clothes. So when he goes to take it off now, it's like my energy, I'm done. It's like I don't have the time for this anymore. Let's just forget it. Next day.
Oh yeah.
No, make it romantic. Sometimes set some candles and other things to make the marriage sweet. And when you're married now, especially when you have kids, listen, some women, after they get married and they have kids, they're romantic, the romantic they have in their head is, when you help me with the kids, that's romantic.
Oh Lord.
Yes, when you help me with the kids, that is romantic. But when you don't help me with the kids and I'm the one When I'm done taking care of the kids, I shower the kids, I bathe the kids, I do this, I do that. By the time I'm done, you want me to open my legs and so you can come in.
You'll be tired.
Yes, you'll be so tired. So if you're able to help your partner, okay? If you're able to help your partner around the house or do some chores when you're married, it's a plus. Then she has all the energy in the world
More
for you.
time for you.
Yes. So when you want to come in and say, yes, you are welcome. La la.
Amen.
Yes. That's how a marriage should be.
Oh, yes.
There shouldn't be one person overworking the other person because of what? Because they're women or no. We're not slaves here. Though we're women or though you're a man, you're not a slave or go to work and I stay home, you work. Well, I'm home always on the phone, not doing anything with my time. No. When you're married, listen, both parties have to find a way to contribute to the marriage.
Oh, yes.
Nobody wants to get married to and be a liability. No, nobody wants a liability for a spouse.
Oh, yeah.
Right? If I get married to you, I want you to be bringing in an income. I want you either emotional support, financial, or in different areas that you can support the marriage. Otherwise, the marriage is going to be rocky. Anyways, I know I've been talking for a while. What do you think?
She have a lot to say on this one, guys. So let me just repeat the question, okay? What happened after marriage? How to keep the passion burning in the marriage? As for me, once you're in the marriage, we have to keep in consideration it doesn't end there.
Oh, yes.
A marriage is a continuous thing. Never stop dating. For me, you never stop dating. Always find things to make laughter. Always try to put a smile on each other's face. Not because you're married, everything is going to be downhill. You turn granny when you weren't granny when you weren't married.
That's right.
Right? So you always have to kick things up the notch.
Yes.
Right? So if you're at home, make sure you're just pleasant. Not because you're home, that means you're gonna keep yourself anyhow.
And the boobs are flat down, the butt no.
You don't look attractive. And so as the man, your man don't come in bushy, he don't want to go to the barber, he doesn't look attractive anymore. Marriage doesn't mean stop. Marriage is a constant thing.
Yes,
constant.
working. Yes.
It.
Marriage is work.
Exactly.
If you're not ready to put in the work, do not go into it. Because you will get tired eventually.
Right.
Especially when you don't go with the right intentions. If you go with the wrong intention, you're eventually going to get tired. That's why a lot of people that go into marriages, they get tired and they walk out.
Yeah, boring.
Because, their intentions were not accurate. If you go in with the intention of, oh, I'm going to marry a man. He's going to take care of me. He's going to take care of my needs. You have another thing coming. Because when he starts to carry a load for a long time and he realizes, oh my goodness, this load is getting heavy, he would drop that load. But if it's you and him coming together now, it will make work less for one person. If one person constantly does the work, even though I love you, if the load is too much, I will drop you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we have to own up to our responsibility individually in order for it to come corporately and work.
Oh, yes.
Right? So give in when you're in a relationship, always go on it. Don't leave it up to the man alone, women. Right?
Yes.
You need to play a part in it too. Right? Play a part. Say, honey, can we go here? Right? Go to places where you can enjoy laughter. Go ahead on vacation.
Yes. Right? Even if you don't have money for vacation.
You don't have to go fly
You can
out.
go for a walk.
A walk.
Yes, picnic in the park.
Night.
Girl.
Sure, come on, man. Don't use money as a factor here to say you can't have fun and to build your relationship. Money plays a vital role, yes, but do not let it take away your love and your happiness at once, right? Because you have to work on love gradually. Each day you have to work on something to make your love grow in the relationship because love is not stagnant.
Oh, yes. That's why a lot of relationships just they hit the rocks.
Oh, yes.
And another thing, too, I want to add in there, especially with married couples that are Christians, okay? Being married and being a Christian, I know this is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people because some people are going through this, believe it or not, but although they're not speaking on it, doesn't mean they're not going through it. Being a Christian and being married doesn't mean that you are not allowed to do certain things with your husband.
Like what now, my sister?
Spill the people think because you are married, you're not supposed to be having sex every day, or you're not supposed to be doing this and that. I'm like, no. When you're married, you are free to have sex as much as you want, as long as both of you agree.
Exactly.
Yes. And then the other story that I told you that I was hearing about now was a couple prayed, did overnight prayer on their wedding day. And I'm like, oh, wait.
Yes, but when they do I can understand, when they did the overnight prayer, right? What did they do after they go sleep?
No, it was just overnight, all throughout. They pray overnight.
Or before the actual marriage day?
The day of the marriage. After they got married, then they went for their honeymoon. That same day it was like overnight prayer.
But again, if two of them agree on it.
No, it came with regrets.
Huh?
It came with regrets.
Oh, well.
My thing is, it should never come, to a point where you regret anything in your marriage, because marriage is supposed to be a sweet union between you and someone else.
Partner.
Yes. If you feel like you are regretting being in a union with someone, then that's not for you. God never sent you there. You went on your own to be in that place. Yes? So we have to realize, before we go into any union with anybody, did God send you there? Is it God's plan for you?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Because if you get married to a wrong person, it's just in no time you're going to get right back out. Oh, yes. And another thing I wanted to add in there too, the people that we are getting married to, how are they? Are they respectful of their family members?
You have to watch out for that.
Yes. Do they respect their mothers? Do they respect their fathers? How are they with their sisters, with their siblings? Are they always quarreling? Is there always something there? How do they act when argument arises, when you guys are dating? Certain things, we see it and then we ignore it.
Right.
There are some certain signs that are alarming when we're dating our spouse before we get married to them. It's very alarming. We choose to ignore it.
Yeah, push it under the table.
Oh, yes. And then when you get married to the man, now you're like, I never knew you were like, oh, yes, you knew. God always feeds us with things and opens our eyes. We decide to close them. If you close your eyes when the man is showing you different signs of who he really is and you get married to him,
your fault.
Oh, yes, your fault. But sometimes people can really hide it really well.
Well, those are called narcissists. Multiple personality.
Oh, yes.
The devil comes out.
Oh, yes.
Until they choose to release it. Because I have had, say, friends or people that I know that will come and say, I didn't know this was the person I married.
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah, those are called narcissists.
Yes.
Because
they change back and forth.
Right, those people need they have mental problems.
Yes, that's why I also said too, it is very important to do your research about someone that you are getting married to. You just can't wake up one day and decide, I'm going to get married to this person. It doesn't work that way.
No.
You cannot. People nowadays are very dangerous.
Oh, yes.
You have to know where the person comes from, who he is, his background. Sometimes you can be marrying a ghost and don't even know. Yes. You have to know who these people are, what you're getting yourself into. Because sometimes what you get yourself into might be the death of you. You may think you're walking into a beautiful union, but you're walking into your death trap. And sometimes too, I see a lot of ladies getting married to a man, regardless if they're the parents of that man likes the lady or not. You cannot marry a man if the mother does not like you.
But then again, it all depends on the culture, because there's a lot of culture that choose arranged marriage, and you just have to go into that love with that person.
But sometimes
I don't. Their own, but
that's another topic. I completely disagree with that.
Yeah,
because if I'm forced to get married to you, you're not gonna have a good life. I will make you miserable because I was forced to get married to you, and that marriage is going to be a heat for you. Anytime you come home, you're going to always go, Jesus, please.
But it might work out for some, because for example, look at the Indian culture. When they do arranged marriage, you just have to love the woman.
Sometimes it's not always the case. Some of them, they're being abused too. Yes, some of them, they're being abused and they commit suicide. I don't believe in a marriage that you have to be forced in. I believe in a marriage two people agree before you walk in, because this is a long time commitment.
Right. You have to feel that connection.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So another thing too that I wanted to add in, when you marry a man, you are marrying his own family. For me, I don't believe if it's you're African or you're Jamaican or you're Canadian or whatsoever. Because if the woman doesn't like you, she would do everything possible to make that marriage scatter, to make sure that marriage doesn't work out. Is that something you're setting yourself up for? You're setting yourself up for failure. If she doesn't like you, chances are she would not like your children. You don't want your children to pay a price of something they never knew something of. Because if she doesn't like you, she's always going to remind your children, you're just like your mother. Every little thing, you're just like your mother. Is that something you want your children to go through? So before approaching into a marriage, make sure their parents is in agreement alongside with your parents. Do not make a mistake of approaching and going into a marriage that the parents don't like you. Both parents, you guys don't like each other. There's a huge disagreement somewhere. It's a huge issue. So are we open to receive calls now so people can call in their own?
Can call in.
Yes. So we're open. If you guys want to put in your own point of view, what do you think? Life after marriage, how do you keep your marriage spicy? What do you do when it comes to communicating with your partner in marriages? So don't be shy. Call in and let us know what you think. Okay, before we receive any calls, we're just going to read the questions. You're free to call in at any time. We're just looking at the questions. If anyone left a question, let's see.
Yeah, Benny?
No, not yet. Okay, this one said, I saw a question from another channel and I just wanted to answer it here. No, it's not a question. It's more just them answering based on what we talked about. If a lady had a child before she got married, but then she never told the man she had the children, and then she ended up approaching in the marriage regardless of not telling the man she had kids. And then after the man finds out now, oh, you had kids in your before you got married to me, it's gonna be a problem.
Oh yes.
Some men would.
That's a big deal.
Yes, if you think that you can approach into a marriage with lies, it's going to be a problem.
And when it comes on to kids, having kids, and the person doesn't know, right? And the person that's a definitely no, and I would not encourage anyone to go and do that to anybody at all, whether from the female perspective or the male perspective.
Oh yeah.
Once you go into a relationship, you need to be upfront, be truthful, especially when it comes on to having kids with someone else.
Oh yes. Oh yes. It's one thing to get married and it's another thing to divorce. Sometimes I wonder, why is it that a lot of Christians get married, but there's so much divorce rate in the Christian marriage? Why is that?
Well, it all depends on the...
Could it be that there's a lot of hypocrisy that went on before the marriage happened? Because a lot of people play I'm too holy. Right? In marriages, because, oh, I'm a Christian. Oh, I won't do that. Oh, I have to wear my long skirt. Listen.
But even if you have to wear the long skirt, wear it when you're going out. But when you're inside, it's a total different playground, right? You don't be in your house with long skirt like you're what those people come and leave them eyes? Come on.
Like the lady, like one of the callers said, leave everything without underwear. Even if you're wearing the long stuff, don't wear nothing under.
If you're, for example, if you're in a marriage, you have no kids as yet, I would say enjoy those moments.
Yes, yes.
You need to be free when you're home in your sexy lingerie, walking in the house, you know what I'm saying, cooking with certain kind of dressing on. When the man looking at his food, he's looking at the next.
Oh yes.
Come on, you have to spice it up.
Oh yes. Don't make a marriage boring, because when it becomes boring, it's like your interest just dies down. That's how the love starts to die, because people lose their interest in marriages. Because and another thing too, when you're in a marriage, don't be disgusted. Some people when they're married, it's like they feel like they can behave anyhow they want. Oh, I'm married to you now. I don't have to hide anything anymore. So you were hiding this from me before? Some people would chew with their mouth open. It's like boom.
No.
like they're carrying or
Jeez.
yes.
Lose interest, man.
Yes, that will make you lose interest. Like, oh, they're eating and food is falling out of their mouth, or just certain things you would do in a marriage that will make people lose interest. So if your partner talks to you, this is communication. How do you communicate? Your partner comes to you and sit you down, honey. I feel like, this is how I feel, and this is what you've been doing, and it's bothering me. Let's talk. That's proper communication. Now, just stop doing that. Why do you do that? Why are you doing this? You piss me off. Hey. No. No. Because if you do that to your partner, anytime they see you coming with, oh, I need to talk to you, it's like they're always going to try to
escape that.
And anytime they try to escape that, trust me, there will always be issues unresolved. That's how a marriage breaks quickly, because if there's underlying issues that you guys haven't resolved and you go to bed with it day and sometimes weeks, it can make a marriage break so easily. And on top of it, some people in a marriage, they can get mad at you for a whole 2 months and they don't even realize you're there.
Oh, jeez.
To me, I'm like, is that even a marriage? When you can get mad at someone you claim you love for 2 months and you don't say a word to them. You see them come in and you're going this way, they're going that way. Or you're cooking your food, they're cooking their food. If I have to be like that with you, we can go ahead and cancel the marriage. Because now we're not living like brothers and sisters. I'm gonna feel like I'm trapped in the marriage because now I'm living a life that I never wanted for myself. And there's no love there. So what am I doing there?
Yeah.
Right? Especially when you have kids for the person, it's like you're going to feel like you're trapped. You are going to feel trapped. So do your research before proceeding. It's not about I'm getting old, I need to proceed with marriage right now.
Rush into it.
When you rush in, you rush right back out.
Yeah.
Anything you ever rush in, you always rush back out. So don't make that mistake of rushing into any marriage, because that's a huge mistake a lot of people make all the time, and it leads them to always rush back out. So before you proceed, make sure you are checking every traffic light. Is it a go? Is it a go? His finances, is it a go? His credit, is it a go? His personality, is it a go? His anger, is it a go? Yes. His communication, is it a go? When he gets mad at me, how does he resolve it? Is it a go? The relationship with his mother, how is it? Is it a go? The relationship with his father, is it a go? Every single area, you always have to check, is it green lights? Because if it's red lights and you see the red light and you go for it, you're getting a ticket.
Slow down and address it.
Yes, you're definitely getting a ticket. What does that ticket mean? A shake in your marriage. Oh, yes. So at the end of the day, we sometimes see the red light. It is us that still proceeds, thinking, oh, if I get married to him, I will change him. You cannot change a man.
Nope, he has to change himself.
Yes, you cannot. You can contribute to his change, but you cannot change a man that doesn't want to change. Yes, so be careful who you go into a union with before you get married, before you even proceed into this. Be careful. Is it a person that is lazy? Do they like to cook? Do they like to clean? Do they like to help out with the house chores? Is it the person that's always leaving this for the other individual? That's different areas you have to check. If you're okay with it, for the rest of your life, just picture 80 years of your life. Can you live with that?
It says whatever float your boat.
Yes, 80 years of your life. Can you live with that? If you can live with that for 80 good years of your life, go ahead. But if that's something you have to think about that's alarming, do not proceed. Because a lot of people proceed and it ends up being the death of them. Because you're always overthinking all the time. When you overthink too much, a lot of sicknesses and diseases come in. Oh, yes. So, Miss She's gonna take
the platform.
I'm telling you.
These topics are hot, man.
Oh, yes.
So, let's see, any questions from your end? Any questions?
So guys, feel free, don't be shy to bring in any questions that you may have, okay? We're here to talk about anything you may be going through in your relationship. If you're going through any form of abuse or whatever in your relationship, bring it to this platform and we will talk about it and address it, okay?
Yes.
Most of the time, we go through so much in our marriages, we go through so much in our relationship, and we need help, but we are dying because of pride.
Inside, yeah.
We are dying on the inside, and we come out on the outside, we're smiling. Is that the kind of life you think you're able to keep or live the rest of your life?
Mm-hmm.
If that's a yes, then kudos to you. But if that's a no, you need to reach out for help. Sometimes too, it could be a manipulative person making you think this is love, and
But it's not.
but it's not.
Yeah.
So
especially when it comes on to an abusive one.
Oh yes.
You don't stay in such thing.
Oh yes. If it's ever such, you need to find a way to exit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if he threatens you in the marriage. Oh, it's do or die. We die here. Like some people say, we die here in the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going anywhere. We die here. Really? I'm not dying with you.
Not with you at all.
If you die by yourself.
Yeah,
I can even push you.
But a lot of people would feel threatened.
Oh,
especially
yes.
for the female and the kind of relationship they're in. The guy might threaten them like, if you leave me, I'll do this to you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes.
So they're fearful of their life, which hinder them from leaving. But you have to take that foot one step at a time and find yourself out of it.
Oh yes, by speaking out. It may not necessarily be calling the police, but you have to speak to someone that is able to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes calling the police will not help the situation right away.
Right.
Because if you call the police, what the police can do is arrest him for a day and then release him again. He's coming back to the house and it's going to be more worse.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to reach out to someone that is able to help your situation.
Yeah,
or even if talking can relieve a lot of the stress and a lot of things that you're battling with and you're keeping within. So don't ever feel like you have to keep anything within that you're going through, okay? So if you guys don't have any questions, we're going to move on to a next topic.
Okay, so this is the final topic for the day. Or we might have more, who knows? So how to communicate with your partner when relationship problem arise, right?
Okay.
So in terms of if you have any situation going on in your personal, whether you're married or not, we'll keep it open in regards to that, having that relationship. How do you deal with issue that comes up in that relationship? For example, you guys are fighting. No relationship is perfect. You will have that upset, up and down moment, right? But it's how you go about dealing with it. That's the question.
Okay, we have a caller.
You have a caller?
See. Yes.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Okay. Sorry, that was a personal call. I thought it was a caller.
Okay.
Okay.
No worries. So it all depends, right? So if we're talking about how we deal with problem when they arrive, well, two-party, I would say, for example, if you guys come up with a disagreement, if you don't want to tackle it right away in the heated point, please take a break.
Oh, yes.
Take a break because you don't want to tackle something when both of you are heated.
Oh, yes. That's another
That will
thing.
cause rupture.
Oh, yes.
So give that person that time because I know I've seen where there's a relationship and there's argument and the other party is down on the person. What happened?
Oh,
and,
yes. That doesn't help anybody.
That doesn't
yes.
help. Let that person take a breather.
Oh, yes.
Right? Before you go about trying to tackle anything.
Oh, yes.
Right? And then we need to be respectful. We need to listen to hear.
Oh, yes.
Listen to hear. Not just listen and say what you think. Listen to hear and understand the person, what the person is trying to say. Right?
Oh, yes.
And
very
clarify.
important. Oh, yes.
Right? Because sometimes they might think that you know what's going on in their head. Or if they say something to you, you might say, okay, I understand. Clarify. All right? Make clarity of it. Okay, is this what you mean?
Oh, yes.
Then you can go forward.
Because sometimes we can miscommunicate, thinking this is what the other person meant, and in reality, it's not. It's not, right? So if you heard something wrong, or your partner sometimes will be like, or they said something, or you think it's an abusive thing they said to you, but you weren't really sure. Like she said it, Bill of Vybz said it. Clarify with your partner, is this what you said? Or maybe sometimes they can even text to you sometimes, and it's not the way you take it that they're taking it. Clarify with them. You sent this text today. I just wanted to clarify with you. What do you mean by that? Were you, indirectly speaking to me in this form or in this manner? When you talk about it right away, in a calm manner, you squash the issue. Yes. But if you don't talk about it, you feel like you don't want to talk about it because you feel this, and this. There's always going to be that. How do I say it? You're always going to feel like that anger within you because you didn't express yourself.
Right.
Yes.
Allow the person to speak and express themselves. Do not interrupt while they're talking. Let them speak, and then you can take the back from there, because each person, they play on their own emotion.
Oh yes.
So you can't think, oh, this is the way they feel, or this is the way that person feel. Let that person express themselves clearly. And again, the key thing is that words are power.
Oh yes.
We have to be careful of how we speak to our partner and the words that comes out of our mouth. We need to be very respectful and be careful of what we say to each other.
Oh yes.
Right? So we need to take that into consideration. What you're speaking over your partner.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, you could get married when it's
I was just about to add that too, because anything you say out of your mouth, there's seeds. And what seed are you growing on the ground? Right? The more you speak those things, the more you're watering it. If you constantly call your partner lazy, no good, you're this and that, you are watering it.
Oh yes.
Because the more you speak those things, your partner will start to become what you said. So you have to be very careful, because words are so powerful. Whatever you speak over your partner, whatever you speak over, it's very powerful. So if you're having issues in your marriage, constantly, even though it's rocky, speak positivity into it. Always tell yourself, my marriage is a good marriage. My marriage, but do not let that positive speaking deceive you either, to think if when the marriage is abusive, to start saying it will be this, it will be that. No. If it's abusive, it's completely different. But if it's not abusive, if it's just misunderstanding or whatever, constantly continue to pray over your marriage. Stop going to outsiders for advice. Pray over your marriage. Constantly confess to God. Constantly pray over. A marriage is between you, your husband, and God.
Anybody with your marital issues.
Oh yes, because some people are just there to destroy your marriage. All they want to do is just destroy your home. They don't want your home to be, successful, because theirs wasn't. So you have to be careful on who you take your issues to, because the more you speak to that person that don't have good heart towards you, they will try to break your home. Before you know it, you're just as single as they are.
And then leave your husband, leave your wife.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially if any issue arises. Oh, leave him. Oh, leave her. Oh, she don't love you. He don't love you. Who are they? Are they God that joined you guys together? What God joined, let no man put asunder. Yes? So you have to understand the way you communicate with your partner in a marriage, in any relationship, is very, very important. Because if you constantly are pouring negative words into your partner, he's going to become, because that's what you're seeing already. Psychologically, that's what you're seeing. So you're pouring that word and you're going to be seeing more of it. So be very careful of what you say over your partner. Yes. So we just want to make sure anybody doesn't have any, let's see. So guys, don't forget to leave your comment. Okay, so we are waiting. If you guys want to call in and leave your two. And another thing you also have to know as well when you're married, everything is not always going to be perfect. Some people just want things to be perfect all the time.
But if they want it, they have to make sure that they are perfect.
Yes, that's another thing.
Yeah.
You also have to make sure you're working on yourself.
Oh, yes.
You want things to be perfect all the time. It's not always going to. People go through up and downs in their marriage, in their relationship, in their lives, period.
Yeah.
If I'm going through a rocky time in my life and all you want to do is just constantly, I'm not gonna be in the mood for that.
Mm-hmm.
The best you can do is support me emotionally.
Exactly.
Yes. So we also have to understand at the end of the day to listen to our partner, both physically when they're speaking to us, and we have to listen to when they're making signals that everything is not well with them.
Mhm.
It's not always about us all the time.
Because we have to listen to understand and not to react.
Oh yes.
Right? Because some people, when you tell them certain things, but they're ringing up, right?
Yes.
But they're not taking into consideration what the person is saying.
Oh yes.
They're just making their emotion make the best of them.
That's true.
Right? And you don't want that. You need to listen to understand and not to react.
Oh yes, that's very, very, very important.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna check in if anyone has any questions. Okay, do you have any questions on your end?
No question.
Okay. So if you guys don't have any questions, does that mean we should end the live chat or we should keep going? If you have any questions, feel free to call in. The lines are open, so feel free to call or feel free to
ask. So what I can do, I can go over the questions that we've asked so far. If you have any question or if there's anything you want to say in regards to these topics, you can also comment or call in. So I'm going to start from number 1. The question is it rape when your partner have intercourse with you without permission?
All right, we have a caller.
Oh, you have a caller?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Hello, we're listening.
Okay, please, I wanted to ask a question. I don't know if I'm free.
Yeah.
Okay. I said, is it good that a man, is it good that in a relationship you can have a different room from your wife or your husband? Is it correct?
Oh no.
If it's correct?
Oh no, if you can have a different room from your partner. That's absolutely a no-no. Okay, any relationship, sorry. That was, I was like, what kind of marriage is that? Any relationship.
But why would they want a different room? What's the reason why?
Yes, what's the reason why they would want a different room?
Yeah, because in marriage, I have seen a lot of marriage that have a different room with their partner. This is what I'm asking.
Okay.
Am I correct?
So if they don't have a reason, it's very wrong. There should be no reason at all why you should have a different room from your partner. It's very wrong. A marriage is built on one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not built on two or whatsoever. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The moment they start doing that, sleeping in 2 different rooms, you've already said, okay, separate.
Something
yes.
is reached. Yeah.
Something is going on in that marriage that needs to be broken. Something is definitely going on. You cannot be married to someone. Sorry. Yes, you cannot be married to someone. This person sleeps in this room, and then the other person sleeps in the other room. What kind of marriage is that?
What if the person is a pastor or the woman or the man?
Or a pastor, but they need to go read back in the same Bible that they're preaching, right? And understand the principle that God set forth. Why would you have separate room? What kind of covenant is that?
Oh, yes.
Right? If you have separate room, those separate rooms should be for both of you.
Oh, yes.
Change room? Okay, honey, let's go in this room. But not a separation by body. That's not... there's no spiritual connection there, especially if you're a apostle of God. No, there's no way that can be right or functional. And what kind of image would you be portraying to your children if you do have children?
Oh, yes.
They need to see a connection between their parents and show an example, right? Because the Bible said you become one in flesh and spirit. So therefore, you have to demonstrate that.
Okay.
I hope we...
Okay, I understood.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, is that your...
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
most
you.
welcome.
My question. Okay.
All right. Okay, take care. Okay, wow. That was a very... Pause, an interesting one.
Well, it does happen, guys. It does happen.
Yes. But my question is, why would you have a different room from your partner?
I guess some people need space.
But no, if you need space, if you guys are fighting in a different, okay, if you guys are fighting, yes, you should not have to sleep in different rooms. If you're fighting, why can't you resolve it and talk about it?
Yeah, resolve it.
If it results to you guys sleeping in different rooms, that marriage is going to be rocky.
Oh yeah,
very
it would
soon.
even make it worse.
Oh yes, it would make it worse and just stretch things even further. So sleeping in different rooms when you're married is out of the question, because when your kid starts to see that, what example are you giving to them? So when they get married now, you're telling them it's basically okay for them to do the same thing as you're doing in that marriage.
If when you're in one area, it gives you an opportunity to deal with the issue.
Oh yes.
Because when you're separated, you're like, oh, I'm not seeing that person, so it's okay, I don't have to deal with it.
Oh, yes.
But once you're in that area together, for example,
you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
I think the thing is, too, the reason why some people would sleep in different rooms is because either their partner has not been talking to them for a long time, and they're just like, you know what, what's the point?
They have marital issues.
Yes. What's the point? You're not talking to me. And what is the point of me sleeping on the same bed with you?
And the thing is, too,
Sorry, there's another call.
Well, hello? And write down my point. I don't want to lose it.
Okay, I'm listening, caller. Sure.
I said, for example, the two couples is going for marriage, and the two of them are the same blood group, maybe AA.
Okay.
Do you advise marriage to go on?
If they're the same blood group, the same AA, if that's going to is that going to result into one of them having a sickler, like they would say?
Yes.
Okay, so in my perspective, before my partner answers, I feel like I'm.
Take it, guys.
It's like, you know,
I'm just jotting down some notes here.
To me, if there's an agreement between both of them, right? Don't nowadays love is not enough because it's not built on Christ anymore. Because God is love and love is God. If people are building their relationship based on God, love should be enough, right? But in this situation, there has to be an agreement. If there's no agreement that, hey, if you're AA, I'm AA. If we have kids, that kid is going to be a sickler or whatever. We don't have that agreement. And you go into that marriage, you're going to be miserable. One person is going to end up leaving the other partner because they don't want to have to deal with, you know, having a child that's a sickler. So that's a very sensitive topic to touch on.
But explain to the viewers what sickler and AA and...
So it's basically having a child with disability. So when you have a sickler, like it's having a child with disability. Disability could mean anything. Like you could have any disability, really. That's what it means. Having a child to be AA or a sickler. Yes. I hope that answered your question, caller.
Not very well, because I am not convinced, because why I'm not convinced, because I just want to know if they should go on or they should stop the marriage.
It will be between both of them. They both have to make that decision, because the way I would make my decision, I wouldn't approach because I want to have kids.
But the question for you, caller, I have a question for you. Before they enter into the marriage, were they aware of the situation?
They are not yet married, but they are about to marry.
So they are aware of it.
They are very well.
Yeah, but if they're aware of it and they want to take the risk of going into that that marriage and knowing the possibility and the risks that they could have a child with disability, then that will have to be with them. And that will be based on the medical perspective of it. So if they go to for example, their physician and say, okay, we need to have a child, right? What are the possibilities that we can avoid certain cases for our child to be disabled?
Sometimes you can't always avoid it, right?
It all depends, because if you have, for example, you said AA, right?
Yes.
Okay, when two AA meet, what are some of the things that can show up? What are some of the disability that can bring forth in the child?
Like disability, like maybe the
Because
child
some disability are seen and some are not seen.
Yes, some of them are like violent behaviors, and some of them are nonverbal, and some of them, yes, like you mentioned, the eyesight. And there's different kinds of disabilities. Some of them you're not able to walk, right? So you're on a wheelchair for the rest of your life. So there's different kinds of disability. So if that's something they're willing to live with for the rest of their lives, then sure. But
and the thing is, sorry to cut you. The thing is too, if they are in Christ, there's nothing that is impossible for God to
fix. That's true.
So if they have a relationship with God, right, and they're both serving Him in the right way, God can definitely reverse that and fix it, no doubt about it.
Oh yes.
But if on the other hand they're not, then that's a total issue. They have to fight that in their flesh form.
Okay, thank you so much. There's another question if you have time, because I have some questions. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. There's another caller.
Okay, the other caller?
No, go ahead for now.
Okay. And the question goes like this. The two couples, let me put it like this, the two couples they pretend that they love themselves, but the woman always says to the man, I love you when it's not on public.
What
Are
did
you
you say?
getting my point?
Sorry, can you repeat that question again?
When, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. A woman always tell a man that she loves the man. But when she's with her friend, she never tell the man that she loves the man when they are called. Is that a real love?
Oh no, that's not real.
But it depends.
Nope.
For me, it depends. It's both. How long have they been dating?
For a long time.
For a long time, then no, that's not real love. If it's just like they're just starting off and she's still getting to know the man and she still wants to know more things about him before she lets people know, hey, we're now a couple, this is my partner, then it's different. If they've been together for a long time and she don't want to make it public, she doesn't want anybody to know, then she's just there for the benefits. Then she doesn't really love him.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, caller. Thank you. Wow. Interesting
topic.
Yeah, so if you have any questions and you feel like you have questions unanswered, call. We might be able to help. If not, other people will call in and give their own opinion to help you out, right? So don't feel like you're stuck and you're sitting inside and you feel like you're stuck or whatever. So feel free to call, okay?
So back to my note that I had to put down right before the caller came in. I remember he stated that what if the couple were pastors, right? That had separate rooms together. And this is what came to me. It's because they are in a governing body.
Oh, yes.
Right? So they don't want to bring forth to their audience to say, okay, our relationship is not functioning.
Yes.
But in their household, it's broken. So therefore, they had separate rooms, right? To separate them during that time. But when they're at church, everything is all dandy. You know? So that could be one of the situations where they would have separate room because they don't want to break up what they have so far when it comes on to structure in the church, especially if they're operating in such a role, apostle or preacher and stuff like that, because they don't want people to bring them down.
Oh, yes.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yes. If you're a pastor and you feel like you have to hide your relationship, what are you really preaching to people?
Oh, yes.
You're a hypocrite but yet you're trying to let people know this is what you are when you're really not. If you're indoors and you're treating your wife badly and you come outside and you're trying to be nice to people, treating people nicely or pretending to people, then you need to be out. One day, God will expose you, and that's the end of the road for you right there. Yes.
Oh, yes. That's so true.
But do you guys have any more questions? Because if you don't, we're going to end.
Yes, we've been on here for quite a while.
Oh, yes.
We will definitely be doing more lives. So
yes.
you can keep watch out for these lives, guys. But if you have any questions, please send them in right now because we're on the verge to end the live. So let's see if we have any questions or anyone that needs to call in regards to any topic that we have discussed or something that you might want to ask.
Oh, yes. So if there's anything you feel like you need to ask, feel free. If not, we're just going to end it right here if you guys don't have any more questions for today, okay?
And just to introduce herself, this is
Sassydee.naturals. Yes.
Naturals.
Sassydee.naturals, yes.
Okay? Please look in the description. You'll see her link for her channel. Go over and view her channel, subscribe, share, and also comment. If you find it interesting, feel free to always click that notification bell so you can be notified on our upcoming videos. Okay, guys?
Yes, and the same thing goes for Bill of Vybz. Okay, so I will put the link down below. Okay, click the link, go through her videos, make sure to subscribe. Okay, feel free to press the bell notifications to always watch her videos. Okay, guys. If you have any questions, this is the time. We're about to go off. If you guys don't have any more questions, we're going to stop the videos from here.
Gonna wrap it up, but it's interesting and we definitely had a wonderful time. Thanks to all the callers who called in and shared their opinion. We are greatly appreciated of it for you to participate in our first live. So kudos to us and kudos to
you guys.
Exactly. So we want to thank you again. And remember, in all that you do, remember to put God first, okay? And then you'll know what result or what step to take from there. Okay, guys?
And thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I am Sassydee.naturals, and this is
Bill of Vybz.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, and have a great day.
Have a wonderful one.